they're basically doing the same thing.
So there's not included inside the gutter.
The plastic things that link, that's what they call the gutter. That's where the water comes out of the pool and goes in.
Yeah.
Back to do its thing.
As Dry mentioned, their process usually lasts.
He said about a couple weeks.
No, I mean, first time they painted it, it's been 13 years.
Yep.
But after, without the
longevity of it.
longevity,
They pretty much said like 10, 11 years. Is when you should think about doing it.
Any other comments or questions?
Just dryer, that's not the total bid, right? They won't know until they drain the pools to get the
Yep.
actual.
The cracks and cement repair and stuff like that, expansion joints, all extra.
So we don't have apples to apples.
No, because they don't want to guess on what's under the water.
I get that.
Well, I don't think Mongan is either.
Well, the guy acted like that stuff was no big deal. That's all I can tell you.
So it's not-
Has Mongan actually allowed for the caulking and the repair? I don't think Mongan has actually given a linear for the cracking and repair either. I mean, it talks in there, caulk joint removal.
Caulk joint removal and all that,
But
that's,
they don't know.
they don't know either.
So, I mean, with that is, doing that is not in their number.
No,
So it is apples to apples.
Do you get it?
I do, but depends too.
Why does it depend?
Depends how thorough each one is, because one says that there's only 3,000 square feet, and next one says 6, and they just double their thing.
Right.
One's 1150, one's 16, so it's not apples to apples. We won't know until the pool's dry.
But you know what their initial estimate is. So we have the one for 32, we have the one for 59. Those are apples to apples. Their add-on cost is either $16 for the caulking and cement or $9 to $11.50 for the caulking repair.
Although dryer is pressure wash, the
yeah,
other is single wash.
that's
Correct.
where the price is different. And like I said, I talked to that guy from Mankato, and he said they got the paint off real good.
With the pressure wash.
Yeah,
Just one layer, or
we'll find out. I don't know, I didn't ask him that.
They've been doing pools for a long time. Both of them.
First time I ever talked to either one of them.
Anything else for Jamie on the pool?
how soon do we have to make a decision?
What's that?
How soon do we have to make a decision?
It didn't never really said. I said we just kept fall and spring kind of open because I didn't want to guarantee nothing, I didn't want to say, hey, we're going to do this fall, only to shoot it down. So, oh, no, we want it this spring.
did they have a preference of
No.
spring or fall?
Would it make more sense to get it done in the fall versus letting it sit over another winter? And get, maybe cracks will get worse during the winter,
You don't want to do it in the springtime.
in the spring.
Packets can shift over the winter. You know what I mean? If they fix it, and then it shifts over the winter from a hard frost, so just do it in the springtime. Otherwise, you might have to do it twice.
That's fair. I'll say it.
I know violations.
I'm glad you answered that.
Yeah. And then you can use money for a while too, right?
Yeah.
We already made the budget for that year, because that's how far out we have to do it in city government, but tomatoes, not what it is this fall, spring, so we'll do it in spring, sounds like that's our plan.
Yeah. I agree.
Do you want to go drier then? Or, yeah,
I don't have a motion for anything, I'm just based off of a recommendation from someone who deals with.
For me, I guess we'll wait until spring, I'd like to drain it, have them come, both get estimates, go from there. If we're waiting anyways.
Yeah.
Well, they're from Illinois. I don't know that we're gonna get them here.
I think based on what we know, I'm not sure if you just go with dryer, especially since they're the ones who originally painted it.
Unless we really want to do the sandblasting and get a good clean to it. Get everything off.
Yeah.
Yeah, get down to the cement, get down to the.
Start all over again.
Yeah,
If you have some more, but if it's gonna last twice as long,
right.
so it shouldn't be no guarantee for me to.
Well, this one has a 1 year workmanship warranty. Mine, 1 year.
So what do you, Jordan, what do you want Jamie to ask of both of these companies so that you feel like you can make a decision?
I guess for me to make a very accurate decision, I'd like to have it, if they would come, see it, drain it, and get the exact amount what they're gonna do. I guess that's what I'd like.
So you want him to ask for them to come after it's drained to tell us exactly what it's gonna cost?
If they will.
Okay, and then if they say no, because they're far, far, far away,
Cherokee, the guy did come down and just took a quick look at it,
but not when it was
and
drained.
not when it was drained.
If we could have mine come down and figure out what linear feet we're looking at for repair, then we can base it off that as well.
That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
Hate to use them, but yeah,
Huh?
hate to use them that way, but we look at the other estimate that way too.
And try to pictures.
Yeah.
That's another option Carol just suggested is to take pictures and send them pictures.
We could send them a video too.
Or we could just Troy and I could just plain ass go down there and measure them. We got a crack this long.
And then somebody wanted to know how long each is going to last, so asking dryer how long that will last and asking Longan how long that will last. Same as lasting versus no same lasting.
But you thought dryer said 10 or 11.
They both said 10, 11 is when you should do it. Redo it all again. Get the paint off and redo it.
Okay. So maybe that's a moot point, since they both already answered that question. It doesn't matter if it's sandblasted or not. 10 to 11 years is when it needs to be redone. Okay. And then are you still thinking spring or fall? Or do you want the answer first about how much crack repair there's going to be?
From Scott's information, I'd rather do spring.
Spring? Okay. So can you reach out to them and ask them, we'd like to do the springtime? And we would love if they could come, if they would be so kind to provide us with a better estimate of how much crack repair we're going to need. Okay.
This guy from Monga and I could probably get them to come back down, because they're not that terrible far.
I mean, it'd be really helpful for dryer because they're so much cheaper. But I doubt that. So maybe when you talk to dryer, you ask them if they would accept videos or photos to provide a better estimate.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Anything else for Jamie? Anything else you have?
Yes.
Okay, go.
These trees at the community center, which ones stay? Because he asked me this morning, I know the ones in the front, they stay, but what about in the back? I thought they all went out, but he was saying there might be 2 or 3.
On this side over here.
Yeah. Look here, here's the one I knew was gonna stay. But he was saying these 2 are supposed to stay, and this one,
Talking about
the west side.
the west side of the building.
Do you have Eric's number?
Uh,
Do you have Eric Lloyd's number?
no, I do not.
Our superintendent.
No, I do not.
I will give it to you. Carol has business card that I just gave her, like staff.
Yeah.
Call him. And he will tell you what to do.
Yeah, well, he was the one that asked me
Yeah,
this morning.
Jimmy's been talking to him.
We're gonna do whatever he needs to do for their equipment.
Because I gotta let them know tomorrow if they go or not. Because this one here, by the pool, I knew that one stayed.
Rule of thumb,
It's just these two, I wasn't sure about.
do not take down any trees that don't need to be taken
He's
down.
not taking them down yet. He wants to wait till tomorrow.
So if they need to go down for the project, they go down for the project.
But on his paper, they're marked as staying. But I thought they were all get coming out. That's my only question.
They can keep them, I'd say keep.
Yeah, agreed.
That's good, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. I just didn't want them to
As
come
long as they're
down.
not full of ash borer.
I'll say,
It has a
Any of
giant-
ash?
Yeah,
No,
okay. And we
just
don't,
like I said, I just questioned it because I thought they were all going, all of them were going. I didn't want them to come out if they needed it.
yeah,
They look healthy yet?
What's that?
They look healthy yet?
To me, I guess, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if they had any dead branches, limbs, hollow them.
I don't think they're too bad. And these trees in the park, what's going on here? I just got phone calls, guys expecting to meet me there at that time, and I didn't know nothing about it.
did you get both?
Just from the one, I know Diego sent you one, I know.
Yes, which
And
everyone should have in their packet, yeah.
Top Notch looked there too. He gave me that quote of what he would want to take them out.
Yep. So everyone should have that quote in their packet as well.
No, that's not it. $900 to take out. Oh, this is them too.
The tree and then per tree, if you schedule.
He, to do all the trees in the park, he quoted me $18.
Who did?
I
Top
didn't,
Notch.
I didn't see that final number. But I know Diego was saying there's 40 ash trees in the park.
Yeah, pretty close.
Ooh.
Okay, so Tom Rock said what?
18.
For all of them?
Yeah.
All 40.
For all 40?
You should.
Great seminar. Okay. And it looks like there's. Okay,
And he would prefer to do the work in the winter. And I know Diego said the same thing because I ran into him, which makes sense.
that's fine. Okay. You guys. I go ahead. Anyone?
So they're recommending get rid of all the ash trees and park.
Pretty much, because you can knock them down now, or you can spend the same amount of money treating 2 years twice.
What other trees do you
Some other trees that you'd like to see.
Yeah, there's actually more that I'd love to see go down.
They're messy trees.
I mean, we could go already clumps of 5 if we choose to do that. I mean, the main reason for getting these quotes was, I know we just needed to get that one tree down by the new shelter house addition
Well,
before
not,
something happens to that.
yes, that, but the ash borer thing was like
Yeah.
7 years ago.
Mhm.
We had a tree inventory done when I was on council. And they were like, you have a significant problem. You need to take care of it. And we didn't do anything.
But there was some that they thought could be treated, but they both kind of sounded like you're getting rid of this many, just get rid of them all. Since there's only just a few.
Okay?
I feel like we need to make that a multi-year project. Because, like, take down a section and plant.
Zone it off.
Trees.
Zone it off,
Yeah.
but
We
this
don't take
zone,
all the trees out of the park.
get rid of this zone and maybe replant better.
Okay, so if you're gonna go that path, then I would talk to I would choose your use based on the estimate they got. And then have them do that as part of the plan, right?
Sure they both do that. Maybe it's one for, I don't know about the acres, they don't actually see tree work, but they'll do it.
No, I know, but the bids are different.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So. Okay. With which company? Okay. Anyone else have an opinion? Agree? Is that what we're focusing on?
I'll make a motion.
Thanks. Thanks, Rick. Can I get support? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, sign. We talked to them about the zoning and the plan.
I can, but the quote might change a little bit if they want to string it out, see where they're at, I guess.
Just so that, as Rick indicated, we're trying not to have a part of the issues.
Yeah.
So we can spread it out for a sec.
How do you want your motion to read?
Yeah.
10 trees, 5 trees.
Or just say zone area?
I think we almost have to do a zone area, so it's clear, that breathe out that area, replant new ones there, then move to the next zone, rather than spot choosing. I mean, working on spot choose, the worst trees and get rid of them, but that, maybe that doesn't work really well with planting new trees.
Yes, they can answer those questions.
And it might be that they say, do this half by the campground.
I'm kind of thinking it would
And the
be on
west
that,
shelter
yeah,
house
because that is the worst part.
Yeah, so do the west side shelter house and campground area first, that's entire house, and then you can do everything on this side.
But as long as,
Whatever they recommend, but I mean, that would be an option.
Let's make sure that tree by the shelter house addition is done right away as well.
Yeah.
We don't need that thing falling on the shelter house.
Anything else for Jamie?
Nope.
That's thank you, Jamie.
we'll see it.
Thank you. Okay, Ashley, you're here. Ashley is the county assessor. I asked her to come, we had a meeting with the Southside developers, and I think this will be quick, which is why I'm gonna insert you right here. Okay. So one of our Southside developers, Donna, is here, and there were questions about being able to do some of the work and how that would impact our evaluation. Yep. And so we just wanted to have that conversation so we could all understand, because it helps us all understand. So
I think to start the, if you want to take one and pass them down, this is just a taxation timeline that will. Oh, they're not. Everybody that wants one has them?
yeah.
So this is from a PowerPoint I did to the council, the city. League of Cities, thank you, Jen. Okay, so the first thing would be to describe what a partial assessment is, and that would be when our assessment year starts, the first of the year is when our cycle resets. So the first of the year is when I'm checking to see the percent of completion of each project. And so if there's a partial completion, which there always is, there's usually a patio or something added later. extra parking, whatever. So there's always a partial, it's just, is it significant or not? So if a third of the building is up and there's a 30% it's 30% completed, there's 60% remaining. So when you look at an abatement or a TIF, it makes a big difference because you're not capitalizing on that full value you could capture. Unless we know beforehand that you're gonna complete the construction in 2 years. That's where it kind of makes a difference. If we know ahead of time, then in the paperwork, you can approve it to be for the second year, or just with good communication, we can hold off on whatever it is for the second year to capture the full value. But with a TIF, that's not as easy to change and push off. So you really need to know before you do it. Jen, you have experience with that, so.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on what the valuation is that the auditor's office would get to do that. You know what I'm saying? So like if their face value would change and increase by a partial assessment, they would lose the.
Yeah.
So I don't know, if that's, I think what's the question as to.
What if none of the building is up at all?
Yeah, so
It's just the foundation is set.
if footings are in, I usually don't assess that.
Okay, that's all we're, because
Okay.
what we're planning is, since we can beat the frost and put our footings in, then in the winter after the first of the year, then we can do building erection, so then it's after the first.
July 2nd?
Yeah, you mean January,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, because then we can start putting the buildings up in the winter time, because we can erect buildings in the winter, we can't pour the foundations in the winter. So like, there's 3 buildings that we like foundations. I don't know what Joel's, I gotta talk to Joel yet and see what he's got planned with his building. I know ambulance going up right away, I wanna build it right away. And, Craig, is that, yeah, yep, he wants to put a building up right away too.
So that was the main question, actually, is like,
So
they
that's
wanna get
3 of
as
them right
far as they can, but not to the detriment of the TIF.
Yeah.
Rebate, because we need it to go basically from like nothing-ish.
So if you want me to leave something at bare lot value, you can have footings, but nothing more. You have a foundation, you have a capped whatever, I'm gonna assess that. If it's footings for something without a basement, then that's,
There's no basements there.
no, not a.
No, there's no basements, it's all on some, or just flat grade.
Is this the subdivision you're looking at by the water tower?
Yeah.
Are you gonna annex that in?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's in process right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like I said, that what we'd like to do, like I'd like to put the building foundation up and pour up the parking lot, just, and then basically after the first of the year, then we can get the building and start erecting the building.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I've kind of talked about. I mean, I'll just have to see what's there the first of the year. I can't tell you what I
Well,
will
I think-
value if I don't know what.
If
I'm
it's,
not even saying
if
a
all
park.
it's gonna be is much concrete on the ground, just all.
Yeah.
You know, there won't be nothing.
I mean, I'll pick up yard concrete. That'll be valued.
Okay, but
So, I
is
mean,
that gonna affect our TIF?
potentially every dollar will affect it because you're not capturing what you could.
But we don't wanna start that until all the buildings are up to collect the TIF money, right? Because that would be kind of asinine,
And
because we're missing a whole year's worth of money.
But you're gonna capture that low point.
So we
before.
want essentially her first look at it to be 0, to be
Yeah.
blank, right? Because if she goes there and she sees concrete and some other stuff, it's gonna have some value to it that then when you finish your building, the difference isn't gonna be as big as if it was 0 to your finished building. So basically, it's decreasing, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but you're decreasing the amount that gets to come back. Because the change from 0 to whatever is going to be less, because you're not starting at 0 anymore, you're starting somewhere.
Yeah, we'll start somewhere, yes.
So it does impact us
Okay,
as the rebate plan, right, as our, yes.
okay, but that'll put all the construction behind by 6 months, at least 6 months. Because Dollar General wants to build right away too. And when I discussed with them too, that if we can get the foundations put in, I forgot about that building, so that's 4 buildings. But if we have the foundations put in, the construction on these buildings take, you watch the fire station go up, right? How long did that take to erect after we got the foundation done? It's 3 months, 3 or 4 months. Well, If you wanna see that store open next year, they gotta be able to do something. You get what I'm saying? And I mean, if we could do the foundations, all the buildings will be up in 1 year. So, I mean, how much is it gonna affect that?
And I
So
don't think
that's a good point, because if you're missing a capture on the front side versus the back side, really what's the difference then?
Yeah.
Because if you don't complete it in 1 year, you're missing the
You're
back
still
half of
missing
it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good point too.
Yeah.
And
Jen?
honestly, your foundation value opposed to the total building value is,
I mean, no basements, yeah, it's slab reinforced concrete footings.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying, it'd be, I mean, just a key footing wall, a wall and a key footing and then just a slab on grade is all it'd be, parking lot, so anything concrete that you can afford before winter. And then once the winter goes, I mean, then you can bring the buildings in after the first and you can direct them in the winter, because all the foundations are there. But if to do it in the winter, you can do it, but it costs 3 times as much. And ain't nobody gonna wanna do that, I won't even do that myself, it's a waste of money, But I'm just saying it'll move it along faster if we can do it this fall. Yeah, because I have a prep already that we can start doing already on a couple of the sites. If you haven't noticed, I'm moving a little bit over there.
So, did you guys all get that? Yeah. Any additional questions or clarification needed? Now is the time. Do you get what, you understand, you got it? Okay, so then we can chat about if you have any chagrin about it starting ASAP, right? Because it sounds like it will be a substantial problem if there's a foundation for it.
Do you have a way of like a percentage of what the building assessment is of the foundation or footing? Like,
Right now, I don't even know, I don't know what the lots look like, I have zero information,
Yeah.
so, and that's the thing, like, I can't really do my job until things are in place. I can estimate a value, but I don't like to be put in that position, I'm not a contractor, you know. You were? No.
There's a lot of, I mean, the Dollar General has sent preliminary pictures and.
Yeah,
And they're.
I actually just talked to Gary tonight, and they're asking they wanna dig this dirt work done right now, or they're gonna draw me up a CAD file. And if you haven't noticed, I kinda got it done already, but I'm waiting for the CAD file to finish it. They really wanna get started, like.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they would bend. You guys good?
Any other questions for me while I'm here, or?
I do not. Do you guys have any other questions for Ashley?
Do you have anything else you can point out that would help us?
I don't know, I think it's fabulous, if you have people ready to come in, it's a blessing for a small town to have a
That's four
new,
businesses
and think of
right
all
now.
our small communities that have subdivisions, several at the same time. It's a big time for our county, I think, so.
Awesome. Thank you.
I hope it goes well.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Scott.
So
Anything else?
you're done with me too,
We're
right?
done with you.
So, yes or no on the foundations?
I think that everyone's comfortable with
Yes.
that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'll keep working.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all for being patient. Okay, so I have public comments. I'm going to jump to farmer's market and then I'll go to Joni and I will take the press, okay? Farmer's market, go ahead.
So we would like, I know we talked at the beginning about moving, and we did, and it's not working. We're requesting to go back to the original block, on Main Street. And we're requesting to be able to do that tomorrow night for our big community night.
through the end of the season,
And then, yes, we've talked to the business, most of
several
them,
businesses.
and they, all but one of the ones we talked to said, yes, come back. One said she's very neutral. Being on her block doesn't help or hurt her business. So there's only one business left to talk to. And that's Manor Market. We haven't talked to her yet.
And for the most part, we would only block off, kind of like how we did at Todd's-ish in North. But like on the big community nights, we get a lot more vendors and there's a food truck or music or something, so then we would need the whole block.
So if we just did the whole block, then we could shrink it as needed.
I'd like to ask a question.
Yes,
What's the farmer market for? What does it do for Heywood?
brings people to town and it's a community event, gets people out and chit chat with each other.
Okay, very good. Now, why is it that whole block blocked off, the farmer's market where it was before?
Why isn't it?
Yeah, why isn't it? I mean, it is for the 4th of July, which is for the city. Why isn't that whole block blocked off? And then instead of putting the vendors on the sidewalks, put them on the street facing the sidewalks. So anybody can walk up and down the sidewalks and see what all the vendors have, they can go. And then the vendors can have their vehicle behind their shop, because the road's gonna be blocked up. And anybody can walk into the hardware store, any market, restaurant, coffee shop, I don't know, and the store across from Shirley's, I don't remember the names, but that's, and where Shirley, she's lucky, she got a business there and she's open. But she opens for the farmer's market. But since it's been moved down, it hasn't paid her to open. And I just, that's, Shirley and I have talked about this, well, I wouldn't be saying this, but if it was set up that way, where all the vendors were facing the sidewalk with their backs to the street, was blocked off, don't get through there, but walking. Now you got the people that can walk up and down the sidewalks and get into any business they need to. Nobody's gonna be in their way.
And I think that, and these ladies can speak for themselves, obviously, but I think that it was moved to accommodate some issues from last year, to try to help alleviate a little bit of the pain points some of the folks had last year about the location. So they tried this new location, city council approved it. It wasn't that we told them that they couldn't go on Main Street, they asked to go where they are now. And so now they're coming back to ask if they can go back to Main Street, because that's the policy for the city, is any road closure has to come through.
Well, I believe they lost some vendors by moving to that side street.
And I think that's why they're back
They
and
lost
asking.
half of their vendors.
Yeah.
We need to get them back to the city.
Yeah.
And just my assessment and suggestions.
Questions, comments from the group?
Did you see a big decline in vendors when you moved to, well, down the west side of us and then on the north side?
I had several people message me and text me and ask why market was canceled when it was just in front of Adams. And then when we tried the 1 week of Adams and we blocked off Main Street, so it was still, we have lots of people very unsafely driving through all the barricades. Yes, that's right. So that wasn't ideally there. Yes, it was not safe.
You plan to block up the whole block, 300 block?
For the community night, because that brings a lot more vendors and a lot more community comes, once we get space. But then on a regular Wednesday night, we wouldn't have to have the whole block.
We can split it in if needed, unless for safety, if anybody had safety issues,
Right.
to keep it, we're pretty open.
That was a concern first year we did it. They would come in and then they couldn't get back out. Just something that they.
So you mean like close it, the whole street, the whole street? I agree that just closing it is cleaner, easier. I will say though that it's concerning to me that Manor Market wasn't spoken to before today, because I know without a doubt that they have an issue with it being on Wednesday nights in front of their building.
And we're super opposed, we did poll all the businesses at the beginning of the year. We were super
But
opposed.
again, the vendor was on the road, not the sidewalk, no one would be blocking their entrances to the facility.
Don't disagree. I don't disagree. I know they have rear access. I just know that they have had concerns with it being on Wednesday nights and their road being closed, or their access being closed in the main entrance, so.
Were they concerned because for loss of their business or what was?
My report from them is that it's complicated for them to have folks go in the rear, it's not the front entrance, and they're coming in through their like back rooms, where they have a system coming in the front door. So,
Now, if the vendors would not sit in front of the business places like that, is that a possibility? You know what I mean?
beyond the street, you mean?
No, I'm saying like in front of Todd's Hardware and in front of Man Market, in front of the used clothing store. If we don't set a vendor right in front of their entrance anymore, yeah. And like in front of our business too, I appreciate that, if we wouldn't, because I know we did it in the beginning, we had people sitting right in front of us, which, you know, kind of.
But even if they turn and face the sidewalk, they're still gonna be in front of them, surely.
No, but she's saying we can.
If you left a gap.
But you can still walk down the sidewalk and get our business as well as their business.
Yeah.
It's a double, two-win situation.
I think their desire is to be able to have their people come drive right in front of the building to the main door. I think their issue is having the street closed off. Or something in there. They'd like someone to be able to drive right up to their door.
And you know, the way it's been the last few weeks, the street is totally full of cars. And so that really killed it for us, killed it for probably the coffee shop and, you know, it just.
Everybody parked there alongside in front of us belly up, Shirley's and the coffee shop. And there's no places where you can come up and park. Nobody can go up to our place of business or the coffee shop. There's full people parked there to walk their way down the other end. Right. So there's no reason why they can't park further back to walk up to the center of the town.
Council?
I'll just.
You wanna make a motion to close it? I'll make a motion to close it.
Close the whole block, yes, I
Yep.
agree. Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Tourism.
Oh, just kidding, roll call. What number?
20-26.
20-26, Jordan.
Aye.
Shannon.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Rick.
Aye.
And Laurel.
Aye.
Vote closed. Okay. Joni.
Hi. I'm here with the pool, Joni Faber. Myself and Kelly Vandenberg have been managing the pool this summer. Just thought I would come and discuss a couple quick things. You guys have talked about the pool sandblasting and doing all that, so great, thank you. There's a,
Very common in that process.
yes. Yep, and then it's way easier to clean.
Yeah.
And we've gone through a lot of, power washers. Those get expensive, so. And, yeah, and we wanna make sure it's clean, so. That's that, if we do that, it'd be great to eliminate and reorganize in the guardhouse too, because our two white cabinets are molded. Because they get wet, so that will need to be taken out. And maybe just a different idea of organizing, so we can look at that. And then the other thing is our water exercise program has been very well attended this year. And if we can possibly get a small budget to get a few things to update that, that'd be awesome. So I will get more quotes, but we have like discounted retailers we can get them through. So I will get you guys those quotes on all of that.
Have you had a budget before?
No,
Okay, so you need a budget.
We just need something, like some, yeah.
How many did you have in your class, Jenny?
So we had about 20 water fitness
Wow.
individuals this summer coming and going. Some days look more than others, but yeah, we had water walking a couple days a week, same with, water aerobics between that 5 and 6 time. We have utilized that pool as many hours during the day as we possibly can. We have private lessons starting at 8 AM. We have water walking at 7:30 AM. We've just really utilized as much time and space as we can in that pool. It is 13 years old, by the way, so.
Joni,
Yeah,
what's the budget for them? What do you want extra?
for the water aerobic stuff,
Yes,
about 300.
what for?
Oh, dumbbells, 40 pack of, thicker noodles for exercise with the thinner ones. They're not really meant for exercise. And then, yeah, the dumbbells are more expensive.
They're like a foam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were looking around 10 sets.
Do
So
you,
not everybody's gonna get a set, but we can share in with the thicker dumbbells, we can, or the thicker pool noodles, we can use them.
do you charge a separate fee for water aerobics, or is it just within?
Yeah, separate fee or a single pass. So, yeah. Or they do the punch cards, like they can buy 10 punches for $50 and then they just use it as a punch too. There's, yeah. A lot of them just have family passes, so it's part of your family pass.
Okay.
Yep. Swimming lessons this year, oh, any other questions about that? There's a lot more we can do with water fitness, but that would be the bare minimum, and we make what we have work. But it would be great to get, and then like the thicker noodles, we can use those for swimming lessons, especially if we have to do adaptive things. Those thicker noodles are way nicer. They give you a little more buoyancy above our guards when they're teaching. Okay, swimming lessons, about 300 private, 150 public. We have 8 WSIs that did tackle all of that. So I'm really proud of our guards and really thankful for them.
You have a great group of kids that are super nice.
We really do. And we've gotten a lot of compliments from parents that have just been super kind and understanding and loving on our guards this year, so that's been nice. And then we need a new chest freezer. The door is not great, it's taped together. So, at some point. How big? How big is that small chest freezer with the sliding door? Carol?
I can't even guess. That was
It's just like a smaller chest, but it has a sliding door on it
on the top.
for our freeze pieces. Yeah.
So you can see what's in it.
Yep, it doesn't freeze very good. Once it's frozen, it'll keep it frozen, but it doesn't freeze it. So, we're moving around popsicles a lot, which
It
is
was
fine. but-
used 13 years ago.
Yeah, it was used 13 years ago.
So I'm pretty sure that Flying Butcher Brewing Company has an auction going right now, and it closes on Wednesday, and I believe that there's a chest freezer on there.
But the slide,
No, it does not have the slide.
It doesn't have the slide, no.
it opens.
It opens.
I did talk to our guards and they said they wouldn't even care. They'd probably crawl in it most days.
I'm just saying. Just saying, it might,
I go, you need a sliding door, and they're like, actually, no, because if that means we can open it more, it'd be great. I'm like, but it has to keep stuff frozen. Yeah, can you,
yes,
look at that?
yeah.
And maybe I'll look through there and if I see anything.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna ask Jamie to check our water heater. Our showers are going from freezing and coldish, very warm, so.
Okay.
I don't know if we're gonna need a new water heater, hopefully not.
Thank you.
Yes,
Anything else?
anything for me, and I've also been here 13 summers.
Thank you.
We appreciate, you know, I love it, it's great. But it's fun to age with the pool.
Like a fine wine.
Yes,
Still going.
trying to age better than the pool is.
Anything else for Joan?
Your budget you're asking for, you want that for this year yet, or that'd be for next year?
For next year. Yep, we're fine. We just kind of this year wanted to see what we could wear through and just end of life it and hope we can start with some new stuff next year. Okay. We do have enough life jackets. That was really nice of the community. I think I might ask through the winter if Jamie can maybe build us something to hang them on so we don't have them all in our guardhouse.
And then, before next year, or if you wanted to fall, another quote for the steel coating.
Deal.
Thanks. Yep. Anything else for her?
I know we talked a little bit about the board that you have in the guardhouse, the water board.
The kickboards?
Yeah, no. They tell them what you
The
call it.
backboard?
The backboard.
Oh,
There we go.
yeah, the Velcro.
Yeah, have you looked to see if we can
Replace the
get a
straps.
replacement for
Our
it?
straps are fine. It's the Velcro on that headpiece that needs to be
Stuff.
We have replaced that once before.
do you know who,
Yeah, through Rec Supply.
like, a whole new backboard, or did they just send
No,
us?
just the Velcro.
Okay. We need to
Yeah.
grab that. Okay, yeah, our Velcro, but also our backboard is about time to get phased out. So we'll see. If it's super expensive, I might just give you guys a couple of quotes for different backboards, the ones that are a little bit lighter, that work in our deep end a little better.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else, Joan?
Have you had any rescues? Yeah, we have, about 3. So, no spinals, thankfully. So, yeah.
Thank your guards for staying open.
Yes,
As long as they are, it's really wonderful.
they might get to, the community might get to see my face a little bit more, but we're gonna make it work. So, thankfully, we have quite a few college kids that are gonna stay back as long as they can. And then our high school kids are gonna step up, so we're gonna be, thank you to the community for being flexible, because there's gonna be some evenings we're closed, or we have some weird hours, but we're gonna do what we can.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. You guys,
Yes.
go ahead. I think we have your proposal. Let's see, I have it here. Anything you want to add to this?
Not really, I think it's what I expected.
Okay.
I'm sure there'll be some questions, so try to answer those.
Yeah, did you guys have a chance to read through the proposal?
My only question is, I'm assuming that they probably know, so I'm gonna get it closer. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page as far as that's more than likely the city right away, or the highway right away.
Yeah, that's
So in doing so, you won't be able to build anything on there?
for a certain amount. It's like, what, 100-foot highway
I'm
from the center?
not for sure. I just want to know that we're all on the same page. I don't know what the setback is.
Yeah, I haven't researched that because I'm sure there's they have to have assessment. And I don't know, I kind of stepped off 100 foot and that goes to about that driveway south of the reservoir. There's kind of a road through there and that's kind of close to that ditch. And I know I looked at that ditch has to stay there because that's part of the, that drains everything, goes down past, and that's been working fine. Since they redid the road, they redid that culvert that's south of that fire hydrant. And that's been working fine. And that culvert in that ditch is open because the kids come through there all the time, so it must be open. So, but I guess there should be a record somewhere that shows how big that lot is. I would guess it's 100 foot. That's what I just figured. that the lot, because them lots typically are 100 feet. It doesn't have to be, you know, it could be anything, but that should be on a plot plan somewhere, don't you think, Carol? That would show that, because I know where the pins are between, because I had our place surveyed, because I didn't trust my dad when I bought it, so I had it surveyed.
I just don't want you thinking you're gonna go through all this work, thinking you can put something there, and then the highway says, no, that's all our right of way. I just wanna make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah, and that's something a person should check into. I should check into that, but I was wondering what, you know, I had to start somewhere, so this is what I did. And there's groundwork that has to be done, you know, and it has to be surveyed. It has to, a lot of things, you know. I got some stuff together for demo and filling it, you know, take it out. And there's lesser ways to do it, but I kind of like to do it the right way.
I'm with Jordan where I love the proposal, but we want to make sure it's fair for you. And
Yeah.
you're getting enough
Yeah.
land with it.
And I think, you know, I guess I ask for your help. Where do I start? We can look at a plot plan and see, you know, and I know where the pins are, so we can see where that is. But I kind of think, you know, like that ditch and stuff, but you go over to across the road by, well, it was Andy, but it's Jason now, and then go the other way, you know, I would think that follows straight through, I would think.
I would think Andy's building now, and then that one, I would think they would all be in a row.
Yeah.
That would give you an idea of a setback.
Yeah, and if it's 100 feet, I can measure that off real close, you know, we'd be within a foot or two of where we had to be, but then the highway access, I guess, that'd be state, wouldn't it? So I'd have to rattle some cages there and just find out what type of deal there, but we've been kind of taking care of it, you know, the lot there. I shouldn't say totally because they've been mowing some of it, but we pick up all the branches and I seeded the grass and I watered it, and we were gonna do a kickback deal, but it was that big a deal, you know. Everybody's got to help a little bit to keep everything going, you know, and I enjoy that. I mean, we would have that lot, you know, to where, you know, you could have a little flower garden and you could do a lot. I don't want to build another garage. I got more sheds than I need now.
I guess it's, for me.
You come and sit up here so I can see. That's why he's here.
Keep her. No, if you're looking for just a green space with some trees and stuff, I don't think it'll be a problem. I just don't want you thinking.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and that one huge tree on the corner of my garage, towards the back of my garage, that huge tree, that's actually on the city's property. Because my property only goes 5 feet past my garage. When I never got that surveyed, me and Glenn Cook, we stood there and he says, the line's right here. So I went back 15 feet and built the house. Well, we're about 10 feet off, I guess. But we're only my property is only 4 feet from John's house north of me. So the things are pushed around a little bit, but that doesn't matter at this point. You know, there's nothing going to get changed. But I guess what I'd like tonight is just, is this a possibility? You know, that we could get that cleaned up and I don't plan on putting a tiny house on there or nothing, you know, we already got one, so that's why we moved back, so. But how about you? You haven't said nothing?
No, I just think it's such a nice one.
Yeah,
And if you clean it up for the city.
it's pretty major getting it out of there. There's 50 side dump loads to fill that hole. And I got access to Vinzese, so I get a little break. But Scott is also, might work with getting some dirt from him. So that could help with some of that. But there's 2 trees there. Them 2 trees gotta go. They're shot. And if we do it all at the same time, you know, like Vinzie said, just leave it up 4 foot and we can yank them out with the excavator, you know? But then they gotta be filled in too. But it's 12 foot deep. I never realized it was that deep. That's a long ways down there, but.
It's the ugliest building in town, I guarantee you.
But I like challenges. But I think if I'm hearing you right, we'll go to Carol and see what you have on a plot plan. Is that, can you find that? Is that in all them deals we carried in the other day? Is that where it is, or you got it on a computer?
Let's open that in there, 'cause you might not find it. Just got it.
Oh, right there.
I have it on my computer too. You like it bigger? You like it bigger? Here's you, here's that's that big tree you're talking
Yeah.
about, so.
So that's exactly where I thought it went, right to the edge of that ditch.
Can you guys? see
And that's
that?
that's 112 feet. I figured around 100, but you can. They're showing that thing right in the driveway. aren't they? See that? Because I think if we went 100 feet, that's where the pin is. Can you go down just a little bit for the neighbor? There, okay. Where's it showing that on my bottom?
It's right here.
Oh, yeah, okay. So that's right in his garage.
Yeah.
And it's actually, the pins that they laid out were 4 foot from his garage, and they were 5 foot south of my garage, which is the driveway. So. But there's also a water line that goes to Bruce back here. So is that in the maintenance to get changed, or is there,
The water line?
last meeting I was at when Scott was there?
Yeah.
They're gonna run a water line across
Yes,
from Caswell's building, is that?
not from Caswell's. We're gonna do, our engineer has proposed that we add a second one going under the highway and connecting here somewhere in this region.
Oh, okay, so it's right south of Bruce.
So we have not one, because if something happens to the one line that we have, the whole town is in the world of hurt. So they recommended that while we're doing this with the south side folks, we just do this to create a backup plan for ourselves if something happens. Yeah. So
Well,
it's gonna be around here. I don't have the actual picture, I can find it, but yeah, it's
I don't
around here.
need that. But that would be a real plus for Bruce too, because his water line comes all the way from ours, same place ours does, all the way across his property. And then there's another curb stop by the alley, and then it goes all the way into his house. And he doesn't have much pressure.
Our long-term goal, and I know we've been saying this for a while, is to be able to drag it out further on this
Sure.
side of the road so that,
For future.
yeah, because it's
Yeah.
better to have loops than it is to have just dead ends everywhere,
So you can backbeat it.
so.
Okay.
But-
I will do some legwork and we got that figured out already.
Okay,
But I think if we went 100 feet, that would be, if that 12 foot would be about where the property line is.
right
So
here,
then it would be, yeah, it's from the garage there, it's 5 foot over. From that point, 5 foot.
okay.
We can look at what Carol has too, and maybe that, because I don't know how the surveyors got that marked for us, because that was on Wreck Rapids when it was DGR, DRG. Because they did our place by Canton, and then they come and did ours in Inwood at the same time. And that's what they come up with.
So
I'm glad that they.
you have a deed and all that for that lot, or?
Yeah.
Yes, the edges.
That would have to be brought up.
City owns it, So, yeah. You guys have questions or concerns or comments as before he gets into the weeds with what he's proposing? Anybody?
There would be a specific process that we would have to go through.
There is, it takes a little bit of time, we have to publish notices, things like that, but
Yeah.
it's all workable.
Yeah,
And that's understandable, and but I need to find out what Jordan brought up, which is a great idea to check what the stipulations are along there, so. Because, I would think it would be the same as like Bruce, but I don't know. We'd have to see, because he just has a lawn there. I guess that's what I figured, but that doesn't mean that that's the way it is.
and we can pull out the zoning ordinance for that, because the zoning ordinance is a really thrilling document to read. But we can pull out the sections that would be relevant to what you would want to know and get them for you so that you don't have to dig to answer your questions, and then you can chat with Carol and Travis about it if you do have questions. But like Carol said, when the city sells any land, it's a process. So it'll take us a few months for sure to go through all of that, because things have to go public, we have to tell people we're doing it.
Technically, we're not selling.
So
it.
that's-
Does that make a difference?
What's that, Jordan?
Technically, we're not selling it, so would that make a difference?
We'd probably sell it for something like $1, just to have something there.
I guess if we can avoid the 3-month wait, then I would rather not do that.
It'd be nice to be able to jump on it because the dirt's available now and stuff, but,
Let me ask our attorney.
yeah, because we could, if we get those 2 trees out of there,
Yeah,
we could put a big pile of dirt there until we get it out of the way,
okay.
It'd look kind of different, but a mountain it anyway.
Okay.
Little ski spot through the winter.
Carol, Travis and I, we might have to have a phone call with Micah about it, just so we can walk through like what our options are and what it would entail, but we'll do that and then we'll get back in touch with you guys.
Yeah, if there's any way to speed it up, paperwork takes forever, but
Don't
if we
mind.
can get
Yeah,
something verbal going and I can tear into it and the thing's gone, that would be a plus.
well, our attorney's pretty great, so I'll reach out to him with these guys and then we'll circle back around with you.
Because with my background, I know that we have to dig it up like that fire hydrant. Remember that, Carol, we had to add a valve because they were gonna shut that thing off. And we had to add that valve, so we'd have to dig down by that valve, which I told the guys, the demo guys, they gotta dig down there and I'll have to tap that valve and then we'll block it with concrete so that valve can't get put on by the state. And then there's a hydrant that was there the first time I lived there. It's always been there and it's all locked and stuff, but it's a hydrant just to water something. But that must come off of that line that goes to Bruce, which doesn't matter because it's city water, but it's all locked up. We never used it. But Bruce's meter's in his house anyway, so.
Can I have your phone number? So if I have questions, I can call you.
Sure.
Can I have your phone number? Thank you.
Most ladies know.
I will use it judiciously. Any other questions or concerns, comments, anything else you guys have? Cool, thank you. I
bet.
love it. Thank you.
Yeah, if we could speed up anything, it'd be great, but I realize a paper trail is very,
Yeah, I agree. I'll get on it and see.
we got
what
a deputy clerk, he
I
can get
do
her
with
done,
my class. Yeah.
right? We'll see. Work on it.
And he heard it, he's a witness. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
Thank you. Hi. You're the last man standing. Are you here just for fun, or do you have?
I don't have anything super official.
Okay.
I can wait.
No,
Share the
you
board.
may go. You're good, and then we'll get back to our regular business.
Sure, so I just think you guys just updated plans on Jake Creek Furnace. I
kind of been slowly working through this process with the other cities in the county. Curious if you guys are interested in having more city ordinances enforced, particularly those such as traffic that are already adopted under state laws. A little background on that, if it's essentially you're borrowing a law from the state. So for example, speeding or stop sign, as long as it occurs in the city limits of Inwood, you guys already have those ordinances adopted. And we can write it so it's essentially the city of Inwood's laws that enroll rather than the state of Iowa. As a result, 91% of that, the fine amount of it then comes back to the city of Inwood versus going to the state. So here's if that's something you guys would be interested in having done.
Does that make for any more work for the deputy who's writing the ticket, or how's that work?
It makes more work for me initially getting it just set up to be in the court reports office system as well as our ticketing software, but not after that.
Is that the track system that Sheriff was talking to me about?
Yep.
Okay. I like that idea. Yeah, I like that idea. I know that that's more work, but
It is initially, it's not terrible, it's just data entry into an Excel spreadsheet. And then most of the work comes from the court reports office, having to get it put into their system. It's pretty much smooth sailing after that. The other caveat of it is though, you have to have a city attorney that's on board and willing to prosecute it. We've had it with other towns where they essentially, the city attorney will say, yeah, I'm not a prosecutor, they are my family. I'm not doing that. So, because it does, obviously the responsibility of the state does get contested in court and it needs to be prosecuted. That falls on your city attorney versus the county attorney.
we've had recent municipal infractions that we've had to issue citations for, and I believe our city attorney was willing to go to the required necessary step if it got there. It was settled before then, so I think that would be fine.
Sure. Okay. Who is the city attorney?
Micah, we're sure.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Okay. He was a former prosecutor.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, that was really all I had. Any ordinances you guys add going forward, if you could make them a scheduled violation, that would be much appreciated.
Okay.
Because what we run into a lot of times is when city ordinances get enforced, it's something that requires a mandatory court date and a mandatory appearance in court rather than just, being guilty being able to send a check in the mail or pay online. That is kind of a deterrent on our side of enforcing stuff, but something more minuscule, like as someone out of town that I really want to make this person drive all the way to Rock Rapids in 3 or 4 weeks for a court date. And if they don't show up, now we have a misdemeanor back warrant that we have tripled over the next couple of years. So,
yep.
If it's something that can be done like that, it's more smooth sailing for us.
Question. When I talked to Sheriff Hiltz about it, he had said the difference was those scheduled violations were things that were like the golf carts, the speeding. Municipal infractions were more like your grass is too long. So is there a bucket that we have to be mindful of, or can we just say we want them all to be scheduled?
Well, so I'll break it down this way. So we don't touch any of the municipal infractions.
Yeah.
We handle the civil nuisance tax stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna venture a guess on what you can or can't with that. But the stuff that's punishable as a simple misdemeanor rather than municipal infraction, if possible, and make it as a scheduled violation.
Okay.
There are some where you'd have to check with the city attorney on this. If it's an adoption of a state law where it's not a scheduled violation at the state level, I don't know if you can make it one city-wise, but stuff that's unique to the city, such as J-breaking, animal, stuff like that.
Can I ask a specific question?
Sure.
So we're talking later about electric scooters and e-bikes.
Okay.
Schedule violations?
Yep, you'd be able to do
Okay.
that. There's no state
Okay.
law right now, and that would be
The
preferred.
schedule violations. Okay.
There are Iowa codes, I'm sorry, there are Iowa codes, the state allowed to do that.
Not specific to those, so like if you were to
Perfect. What other questions do you guys have? Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have anything else, I haven't made it to an Inwood City Council meeting yet, they don't really like to line up with my schedule. I see a lot of progress, this is the first time I've been able to make it over here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that'd be all.
Sorry, wait,
That's okay.
my brain's.
That's okay. We can give you 5 minutes, Michelle.
I have a lot. I don't know where to start, honestly. We have a situation with e-bikes in town. We have juveniles riding e-bikes in town that are not at age to be riding e-bikes in town. We have e-bikes in town that are over the watt that is legal. 750 is the watt that is legal, and these are considered a class 3 that are being driven in town, according to the picture. I also have a picture that I'd be glad to show you all of one particular child who just said cop chase, which is a misdemeanor that can be charged. And he bragged on TikTok about running from the cops at 13 years old. Running from the cops, used the hashtags cop chase, FYP, viral, to make himself and famous was another one. I'd be happy to show you the pictures. I didn't have enough time to print anything out. I would love to give you all of that, it's gonna be a booklet. But I am personally concerned, not just for the kids, we already have one with a collarbone break, but we don't have reflectors, we don't have front lights. They're riding at dusk, they're riding at dark, they're riding at very high speeds. They don't even have permits to drive a car. And we're allowing this in town. We have elderly in town. We have myself, who just had 3 cornea surgeries and can only see out of one eye. We have Natalie, can only see out of one eye. You know, we have people in town that this should be something that we concern and care about for the children of our town, because obviously the parents don't care. And that is actually a child neglect case. And I've just been out there doing all of this research and completely spaced off the meeting because I was so irritated by what I was just told that I'm going to have big problems with one of the parents for having the cops come and have a discussion like that. So, and I was only doing what I was asked to do by the mayor, was to call the cops. So this is something that I think that the city, the council, should take into consideration as far as the legal age, which is 16, to ride an e-bike. It's a simple Google search will tell you this. If you have ChatGPT and ChatGPT, I'm sure they'll tell you the same thing, but a simple Google search will tell you this information. I did find out that it is not against because I got tailgated, and this is how it all started. If I would have hit my brakes, these kids literally would have ran into my mom. And that concerned me. So I didn't make my turn as I wanted to, and I went forward and gave them a half a block of my signal so they could, because they weren't paying attention, they were talking to each other, so they could kind of see my signal that I wanted to turn. And it just, I'm a grandma, I'm a mom. Of course, my mom age, you know, my son's 32, whatever, it doesn't matter. I still have the mom heart. And I'm concerned. And some of these kids I've known since they were babies, and I've had them in vacation Bible school. I've had them in Sunday school, and it just is something that I think we as a city need to stand up and make the violations a violation. I wish he would have stayed for this, because he could have said that I'm right.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask a question. Okay, so you said your request is the legal age. Were there any other specifics that you wanted the council to consider to include in an e-bike ordinance?
Yes, they are supposed to have, legally, they are supposed to have reflectors and a white front light. I have Iowa codes. I'll print everything out if I can find a printer.
Well,
I'm sure.
we will follow Iowa code. We can't, as a city, go against Iowa code.
Right.
But we can go further than Iowa code. So is there anything beyond what the state of Iowa code is that you want us to consider for the city of Inwood?
Safety.
What does that specifically mean to, for us to be able to write?
Maybe we need to do an obstacle course for the kids that are of age, are legally of age to ride these bikes. We need to hack down on the parents that are allowing these children to ride underage.
So an example I will give you is that in Rock Rapids, they are debating on, or maybe it's not Rock Rapids, maybe it's a different city, but they're debating on if the kid is caught with an e-bike violation and it's a second offense, their bike is then taken away.
Yes.
So that's what I need, is that, is there
That may
anything
be something too.
in addition that you're requesting these guys to consider?
Yes, please.
Okay. So something similar to that.
If we need to step up and be the parents, unfortunately, I think we should step up and be the parents.
Okay.
I mean, that's what we're here for, right? We're the council, we're in charge of the city, and I think that it's overall your all's job to make sure we're all safe. And that includes everyone from 99 to in the stomach. You know? And I'm sorry to lay this on your laps. I really am. I've been down there in tears for an hour. I was just told that it's going to be a big problem between me and one of the parents of the children. And it hurts because I've watched these kids grow up. And I'm not mean. And I know everybody in town has their assessment of me and their whatever of me. And they don't know. They haven't tried to get to know me. And if they do know me, they've known me when I've had a very bad migraine and I'm very angry and irritable and I'm not one to talk to. So, it's, I'm a Johnson. I'm lineage. I'm a Cook Johnson, y'all. I've been here for years. Like my lineage, my roots are thick. And if my Uncle Ralph didn't have me sitting here telling you we need to stand up for these kids because these parents are being neglected. Well, it's child endangerment. It's right here. Google it. It's child endangerment.
Is there anything else that you want to add?
I have, there's so much.
Well, for the e-bikes, and then we need to move on. So I have legal age, reflectors, the white, those are all part of the law. I have the remove bike similar after if they have had an additional violation. Was there anything else you wanted to cover?
We've already been spoken to by the deputies.
Well, no, I mean, for us to adopt as part of our ordinance, they have to decide on that. Was there anything?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Possibly they'll come up with something yourselves, being parents and grandparents yourselves.
Okay. Any other questions or clarifying items you guys want to ask of Michelle?
Him bragging on TikTok is scary, y'all. Him bragging about, he should have ran. This is exactly what the picture says. I will gladly show you. I should have ran. Hashtag cop chase. Is a freaking misdemeanor. And we are allowing that on our city streets. What's our population? How many elderly do we have in town? And they're riding at dusk. So the fear of someone getting hurt, driver or the child, scares the living bejesus out of me.
Yeah. So we have it on our agenda to discuss here later for the scooters and the e-bikes. So this is helpful for us as we're,
If I can help anymore, I've got pages and pages.
Perfect.
Do you wanna see the picture?
I do not. I'm okay.
Anybody?
Anybody? No? Okay.
Y'all
I
believe
think
me?
we have it.
Yes, yeah. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have a good night, sorry I was late.
Thank you, no, that's okay. Okay, clerk office report, Carol, you're up.
We have had some busy weeks here. We did get moved to the healing room. Hope you all have an opportunity to stop down. So thank you to their director, Randy Dakey, and their board for allowing us to use that.
Is that it? Okay. Anything else for Carol, you guys? I have something, so the nuisance abatements were due on the 31st, I have it in the calendar of July. What happens now? I think at the last meeting, the request was to find out if those folks are going to be checking in to see if everybody corrected their issues, or if that's on us to do that.
So we have checked to see, and there's a couple that we need to contact. So Travis and I visited about that today, and there will have to be some more letters sent out.
Okay, so I need a refresher then, because do we have a copy of the letter that went out to them initially that said we need to correct this? Can you send that out to all of us so that we can see those properties that have not corrected? And then we can see the delineation of the steps for correction, so that we know when, if you had until the 31st and you didn't do it, now this is your next thing, which is, it doesn't start over, shouldn't start over. You have this extensive amount of time, so now it's how much money? Or are we putting a lien on your property? So can you guys send that to us so we can see, and then we can follow up with the next steps?
Yep.
What else? Do you have anything else?
It just doesn't sound like a letter is the next step.
I don't know, I don't recall. But they've already got the letter
They've already gotten a letter.
that said they had until this day.
Follow-up letter is,
I think we need to see the first letter
yeah.
to decide,
Yeah.
like, what did it say? If you do not get this done by this time, then what's gonna happen? Or did it not say, give them after this date?
I'm pretty sure it tells them there is a violation of an ordinance, and that this is the fine that will be, provided, but I need to see the letter also. So,
Do we know if those letters were, I've never seen the letter, I wasn't here for the process, but do we know they were received by the parties? I mean, it's been, how long has it been now?
it was last summer.
I guess my point, I'm just fear of, did it get by the wayside? You know, it's been a long time now. Do we know if they even initially received the letter to begin with?
Believe so,
Sent certified or?
sent, I don't know how it was sent. I can't remember.
I would like to say it's sent certified, but I guess I'm not definitely sure.
I know my name was on them.
But we'll get it out to you guys.
Yeah, just send us a copy of the ones that haven't corrected it per the specifications of the original violation, and then we'll go from there. Okay, and then my next item that I have under you, Carol, was our ordinance. Last meeting said it would be 3 months for the new code book from that organization. I want to put a date in the calendar, so it's at the November meeting.
Can sure try.
Okay. I live by deadlines, so. Anything else? Okay.
I'm dealing with a throat issue. I'm gonna say that right away, so I'm gonna try to power through it. I am being seen and trying to get on top of it. The August Inwood Connections out. I kind of had this idea to try to do a monthly community center update, kind of stemming from the old examples Becca gave me. I'd like to, I don't know if Eric with Hoogadorn is gonna get us that information. Somehow I'd like to try to do that update monthly with the Inwood Connection, maybe on the front page. I helped prep for the downtown walk around assessment, quite a bit of time out speaking with business owners to get ready for that. It was well attended, seemed like well received. I attended a downtown forum in Orange City following that. That was also, I'd say, an excellent meeting event. I sent you all some notes on that. I think it might be pertinent to you guys as you talk with business owners in the town. So if you get a chance, please read through that. Help move City Hall. We're getting settled in. I did have, so John Floyd last council talked about maybe some options for the digital sign advertising. I don't remember if I got a proposal for tonight.
You emailed it out.
Yeah, so I emailed you that. So if you could take a look at that. I did have one thing I want to add to that. I don't think it's on there, but there were some different ideas being tossed around. I would like to do a potential one-off where someone like New Life, for instance, if they just want to run for a month, they don't necessarily have to subscribe to a plan, but they could maybe just buy for an event for that month. So I do want to add something for that. I do want to keep that price relatively low. I know, I think I suggested something around like $15 if I design the ad. Someone suggested maybe that was too low, 25. My fear is a lot of the businesses already, I wouldn't say struggling, but want to keep the overhead low just because I don't want to create another expense for them. And something like our digital sign, I don't know, are they going to get one extra customer or 5 for that event? Who knows? But I just want to keep it low with those factors in mind to help them out. I want to create it more as a service for the businesses. It really benefits the entire town to help them out. So think about that. Destination sign, haven't had any update for a little while, but the city park sign along US 182 and Highway 18 with the Trailblazer sign on Washington and Maple is in works. Website overhaul. We started a focus group. I've started to receive initial feedback on that. So I'm still waiting on a little bit of feedback, and then I will be taking that feedback, creating a new design. And once that design is approved with the focus group, then I'll start contacting companies to get proposals. We kind of we don't have quite the deadline we thought. We have a little bit of grace time, so not in a big hurry. Grants, still eyeballing the Lions Keep the Change grant. That deadline is October 15th. Caroline talked about possibly using that towards the Faber Swing Set Edition because we're a little short on the money for that. And then also the Riverboat Competitive Grant is opening, or did open. So we need to discuss as that deadline is for September. So if any of you have any ideas, I don't know the amount for that grant. Do you, Carol? Like what the total that you can request is?
Yeah, there's a limit of 350,000.
Okay, so we'll all have to, you
We
guys.
should be under that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we'll use that for the Swing Set Edition, but if you want to think of some bigger ideas for the town, now's the time, because we'll want to start applying soon, since it's essentially 2 months to apply.
Well, interesting, because just want to note that our owner-provided items for the community center are roughly $204,000 ish. Well, around there.
Could you email me those When I just board them.
Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know if that's something that we can wait on. I need to work on that a little bit. What other, any other grant items that you guys would want to go for?
Right, like an overall parks updating grant to help with tree removal and planting of new trees. New trees aren't cheap either. And or maybe something like that. We get the playgrounds, updating that mulch. We're gonna talk about that later too, but just like the board and place stuff, it's not cheap, but it lasts a long time.
So we were considering like replacing the bushes.
What I was saying, we would do the board and place type stuff. Right. They want to see stuff.
Usually need a significant match. To tear down $18,000 more. So we'd be on the hook for 18, I'm saying. So if you lump stuff together and you get, you can, cross off 18, we're at 18, right?
Yeah. But if you get 18 out,
I'm still considering getting rid of one building and things like that. What's that?
Summer Rec got a grant, a small grant from Alliance for that, so they're gonna try and over the road for the remainder of that. Or in place is 23 per square foot.
yeah, it's not.
Receiving for 2 to 4 years. Receiving home.
Every 3 years, you're dropping another $10,000 to reseal it. Mostly cheaper.
Yeah. 3,200 for wood that lasts 2 to 3 years, and rubber is about 7,000 for 10 years. This is multi-purpose. Yeah. So. Anything you guys are. Community center, work chunk, the community center is hard for me because we need to have make some decisions tonight for precast.
We already got a quarter people in our building, so we can't go after that again.
Not for the building, no, maybe for the stuff inside.
I'm sure by the time we do tables, chairs, the basketball backboards, the lifts, the speakers, all that up, you're gonna hit 350 per. But is it everything? That's everything in the kitchen.
The kitchen.
The freezers, fridges.
Kitchen line items, 20K. Those are our allowances. Okay.
the volume, let's get it, keep calling it up. Blow mine.
You just can't tell them like this or over there.
No, they won't even put the software after that. So they won't even run the electrical for it.
So at school board, 15K, 30,000, gym director, 17, bleachers, 13 per. Oh, no, 13 total for 4. Security, 30,000, IT, 50,000, furnishings, 50,000.
You can put in all the automatic doors, locks, that whole system in there. You know, if they match half of it, that's what we're gonna come up with.
So the problem is that the email that I sent to you guys, right, from Hubbardorn that I forwarded, there are certain things that they need to coordinate. So we need to, if we're to do ourselves, we have to contact the people, figure out the thing, and make sure that they're coordinating with that. They need that.
The thing we could potentially do, the grant for would be things like bleachers or whatever stuff probably. You know, I think that are not actually fixed parts of the center, correct?
Right.
Well, why are we there anyways, and if we don't want to do it anyways.
Right, that's what I was thinking, why can't we, you get like a coordinator, I mean,
We're doing it.
Yeah. So.
And you just sent it, I just sent it to you guys. Call me on Friday. Okay. Okay. Signage, including exterior signage, because it's on the precast. Also, the gym equipment, hoops and volleyball system. So they're asking that they do those because of Ruffin location, electrical and the box itself and precast gym walls.
Right.
The other stuff, visual security, IT. They still need coordination, but we don't, they're not saying we need to utilize them for that. We can do what we want for that. So we can utilize 3D, we can utilize that, or we can have them coordinate all of it, figure it out. They're offering it because we could scrounge secondhand. It's just work. It's you calling and getting estimates on alarm systems and knowing what you're talking about. Bring it back. Because I cannot do it all, gentlemen.
So I did share my thoughts on the security stuff. Having dealt with that just recently at the dealing with a couple of those companies. I think, so what was on the blind butcher thing that we were looking at? Sound system. You know, things like that where we can, like, it's kind of like God thing. It was just sent. We just saw that there's this auction going on. Probably grab that. It's not your first sheet.
Yeah. If we're not gonna get it by either calling for quotes or actually getting it ourselves, they do it. So if we're gonna do it, we can go for the grant and wait, is what I'm saying, right? Like, we can spend our time.
Well, regardless, we're gonna pay for it, so why can't we go for the grant?
Yeah.
Yes, we have to pay for it, but I need to tell them to do it.
You need to tell Hoogadorn to do it, but that shouldn't restrict us from putting into the grant for that amount.
Oh, I can put in for this,
Yes.
but when you put it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when I put in for the grant, I can't just say, I am $350,000 for wall pads and volleyball system. You have to have specific information to apply for a grant. You have to have the description of what you need to have how much it's going to cost, you need to have how much you're going to pay, which we would say, whatever we would say, but you can't just blanket it and say, this is what my gym is gonna cost me, and my signage is gonna cost me. You have to give the actual company information, correct? You can't just. Correct. Generic. You're on the board, Laurel.
Yeah.
You look at the applications, they want to see.
They want to see your plans, they want to see quotes, they want to see if you've had donations to contribute towards the project, your matches, that type of thing.
Well, regardless of whether we do it or Hoogadorn does it, we're not gonna have any of that. It's bad about it, but not all of it.
That's why I said this might not be the thing.
Yeah.
The community center might not be the thing, because of the timeline that we need to get. They need to know.
Especially for the power equipment for the gym walls, right? You gotta know that now.
And we don't have to, we don't have to use them to coordinate the stuff. We can do it, but when I say we can do it, I mean, we can do it, not better. So
she's delegating.
If you want,
I vote Becca.
Yeah, if you want to figure out the exterior signage and say, Hoogadorn, no, we can do it. And we can do it, but we need to do it now. And they need to know now that we're going to do it. Otherwise, we say, you do it. And yes, we can put in for a grant for it, but we'll need the information from them for that grant. Essentially, we need to decide.
I would rather have them.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't think any of us have the time to even pick and choose.
Yeah.
Or
knowledge, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, so it sounds like community center is not something we're gonna go for grants, right?
I'd rather do parks.
Parks for grants, park stuff,
Park stuff or even exercise equipment.
park stuff, exercise equipment, which one? Have to choose.
Exercise equipment at the park, that's what it's called. Think big.
Health and wellness, health and wellness.
Health and wellness.
Parks and exercise, but all in one big line.
What's he drinking down there?
That's good.
Good.
Warm. Like parks.
Okay.
Then I want to include everything from tree removal to,
Park revitalization.
but then I want all the parks included, you know.
Yeah.
One of favor, do all the rubber.
Get everything.
all the tree removal, all the swings, if you need to replace something else, that big foot part, replace that.
As long as we can get specific quotes by then.
Make it as big as possible.
The grant is due September something, right? End of September. Yeah. So you have some time. I don't know where you think I have more.
tonight.
Normally it's yes, we can do it. Now it's, oh.
Been quite a couple of weeks, Jordan. Interesting. Okay, any other stuff, so it sounds like we're looking at a parks valuation grant of some sort. Okay,
I know even the fire department asked for pickleball lines on, in Foot Park on that basketball court,
okay.
that type of stuff.
When you guys settle on what you're all incorporating, can you just send an email out to all of us so that we know? And we can say, wait a minute, we wanted you to throw that in there. Or even as you're drafting it.
Yeah.
Do we want to extend it, is there anything inside? Shelter?
A new shelter.
He
A
wants-
new shelter?
He just wants to get everything. Anything else?
We go 350.
Can think of lots of ideas.
Okay. Keep going, Trav.
All
Are you done? You got
right.
one?
Lastly, modernization or digital efforts. I began compiling the information of, as far as what that's going to tell, such as maps or just the type of things we need to look at for that. With Carol's assistance, kind of created a checklist of items. Need to probably dive a little deeper into that. I added one more company for 4 total to consult with. So I'm going to begin, aim to begin that in August yet, as far as starting to get quotes. So that's it.
I want the system to be a one-stop shop for everything. Like we talked about a few months ago, so they can buy their pass.
Well, on that note, I view the modernization, digitalization twofold. So I view it as getting files and maps and stuff digitized as one fold. And the second fold will be the online reservation.
So you have 4 companies for digitizing,
Yeah,
and we're just the 2 for the modernization.
yeah, for the online reserve.
Thank you. Anything else for Travis?
We have like is there a state retention schedule for city government, like what we have to do? So some is permanent, some is 5 years. Sure. But like those maps, like anything on the land is like a permanent. Thing. Yeah, yes. But they can be digitized because anything on electronically stored is considered permanent legal documentation.
Yeah, I still need to look into that, but even if it's considered permanent, like we don't want to get, I mean, it'll be hard to get rid of anything, but I view it as having a backup, digital backup.
Yeah.
I don't know what that entails with these companies yet, as far as getting these big maps to them or how they do that. That'll be part of that conversation.
Right.
Yes, in the city of Iowa, local governments are exclusively permitted to maintain city records in a digital only format. Provided the digital copies preserve the total integrity of the original document and remain accessible. I will go chapter 22. Defines information stored or preserved in any medium, in electronic files are legally identical to the viewer. There are permanent records, ordinances, resolutions, council proceedings, deeds, property transactions, and bond uses. Issues have to be kept forever.
I have a feeling once I start contacting these companies, I'm gonna learn a lot of them. They're the pros at it, so.
Yeah.
And if Iowa League, 2 of them were recommended by them, so I'm gonna assume that they're trusted sources and that they know what they're doing.
Okay.
The other one, I don't know how they found me. I think it was through, I don't know. They contacted me, so I must have been searching and somehow that came up in tracking.
So quick thing, if you're going for the RC Lyon County Road Foundation for a park giant grant request, maybe don't do Alliance for the park swings and favorite park.
Yep.
Do something different for that.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you need ideas, just let me know. Sounds like we have a lot. Anything else for Travis?
Will we keep getting updates on Travis's orientation and training checklist as he gets those done?
Yep.
Perfect.
You will. Okay, anything else? All right, consent agenda. July 13 minutes, treasurer's report, and list of bills. And 2 billing minutes.
Just a couple of corrections that I had.
Over it.
That harm sanitation should be harms, and wildlife shelves should be little shelves.
Oh my goodness, nothing in a hurry.
And so, also on that schedule fine, for the, J breaking, we did list that as a scheduled fine, right? So that's what Robinson was, Officer Robinson was talking about, right? Okay.
Carol, is the IAMU safety group 1223.80? Is that a monthly or a yearly or?
Quarterly.
Quarterly, thank you. I'm checking with other towns to see if this is something that is required, because I had a 1-on-2, 2-on-1. I don't know. I met with Jamie and Troy, and to resume a monthly cadence of check-ins with them, and they had some things to say about IMU. And so I reached out to the Lyon County mayors and asked if others are also using IMU and their experience with it, and I only heard that Larchwood uses them. So it doesn't sound like it's a requirement, and I want to just see if I can get a little bit more information. Thank you for sharing the cost with me.
No, it is not a requirement. It is a step up. I know Jamie does not like those meetings. Troy does not usually attend. It's once a month, for about an hour in the morning. What they've done is they've prepared their safety manual, given us a lot of that information. And I understand, they just don't like to take the time for it. It's something many feel is good for employees to be trained, retrained in safety items.
Is there any way to not have it monthly meetings?
So here's the change. The person we used to have is no longer that person. Don't know where they went. There's a new person. The new person is intensity level 99, and it's now an every other week meeting for 2 hours. And they are having to do a lot more. So it's very taxing. That's what I was told. That's what I was told. So I have the card of the gentleman to give him a call and talk with him about it. I haven't done it yet. I just started with the mayor group and seeing if it was required. More to come. Anything else on the treasurer's report, list of bills, minutes?
Is our community center gonna be crooked like that, or?
Nice picture though. Did you read any of it?
No, it's a lot of lines.
I know I had to call and ask him, how far is it?
Did you guys see the actual picture?
Halfway goes in.
Okay, hold on, hold on.
She wants to hit her for emails.
I thought I sent it. There's the picture. You can actually see, though, numbers and lines and things and amounts from the road and streets and if you want to look at it, you may, it's right there. Do you want me to forward it to you?
This is crooked.
Do you want me to forward it to you?
Probably not gonna vote against that.
Okay. Carol also has hers, correct? That's in there somewhere.
I'll make a motion to approve that Amanda,
Negative support. Oh, Mark beat again. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, old business nuisance abatement, we're getting letters sent to us, so we can follow up. I reached out to all parties for the Northland development and did not get anything back. I will try again. Southside development. So I shared notes with everybody from the meetings that we had, George and I had with the Southside. We are going to do a new urban renewal area instead of amending. And the development agreement terms, we are finalizing right now. I have a request in there to begin building within a year of closing and completing within a year of starting. Was there anything else you wanted added? I don't know if you guys read the notes and saw that the development group is requesting 50% back of the surplus. So not all of it would be going to the city.
See that?
There was a little bit of difference of opinion between the development group members on that. It was news.
So at the end of the term, they want to have half of the excess back to them. I don't agree with that.
Was this to help cover their costs, or what were they thinking, what was the reasoning?
So Bill and Jordan and Jen, since you were there, they will be paid back 1.4 million-ish when it's all said and done, roughly, with the current schedule that we have, which covers what they get plus a little bit. So one of their groups said, are we good with that? It was a very generic question. And another member of the group said, no, I want 50%. So then they chatted with each other while Jen, Jordan, and I just looked at each other. And that's where it landed. So if you don't want that, if you want, that is fine. We can write our development agreement however we want. And bond attorney says we can write it however we want. So if we go in and we say, that's not where we landed, we want to have that excess, you're getting your money back. We want to have the excess. It's for the city, for the future of the city, we can do that. And we will see what happens. Anything I'm missing, Jordan? Anything I'm missing, Jen?
The only thing I think was they talked about, or we talked about, or Kurt talked about, I guess, was having a fund for that excess to go, that would be set aside specifically for further development. Right, that was for part of it, because that was part of the conversation as to where does it go? Why did we start this and where does it go? Yeah, where to bring it. That was something you guys could do if you wanted to do as well. Correct?
We would not set up a nonprofit.
No, just that those extra dollars would stay with the city.
Oh.
Like you were saying, that they would be in a
So,
special project fund essentially, or whatever that you would do with those.
Right.
To help the next developer that would come with the
Yes.
west side
Yeah.
development or the east side
Yes.
development, whatever.
Yes.
so it's a way to use TIF funds, not for that TIF area, but another area potential. So it's a loophole.
No, it still has to be in an urban renewal area.
Right.
But it would have, the money coming in would go into a budget line item for that utilization. So it could go for, yeah.
But doesn't, like, within, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I misunderstand, but with TIF funds, aren't they required to be used in
The urban renewal area.
the area anyways? So putting 50% of it into another fund with a special line item, isn't that kind of the same thing?
Yes, you have to update your renewal
Plan.
area plan before you
Use it for something else.
But you're talking the last 4 years.
It's
of-
like 23 years from now.
Right.
Yeah, but you're correct, yes.
Yes. And so you guys remember, our money coming back is paying our loan.
Right.
We are not making money for a long time. It comes back and hits a loan. And sometimes we might be short. We don't have structures there. Right? So the bond that we do and the money that we dole out, it's a grant. That's what the word was decided. It is a grant. They will submit receipts monthly and we will reimburse. Everyone agreed to that, but it's a grant. There's not strings attached to it. So we get our TIF rebate and we pay off our loan. Oh. Scott also asked to increase the amount that we are willing to do from 1.1 to 1.125, because that is actually 75% of 1.5 million. And they anticipate the infrastructure associated fees with the engineering and attorneys and everything to be 1.5 million. So he asked that the city consider that. So consider. And then after you've thought through all of that, I have an additional question for you.
So they asked for an additional 25,000 essentially.
Yes.
Make it an even 75% funded by the
Yeah.
city,
Yeah.
which makes sense to me. I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I would agree. I don't think I'm fine with the other.
Yeah, the other thing,
I don't think I
No,
absolutely not understand it enough to,
Jordan, want to add in? Rick's wondering about the 50%.
I just don't know if I understand it well enough to be able to vote on it.
So
Like,
basically, anything else above and beyond what the TIF get, or whatever they bring in, they would get 50%, city 50%. Now, how they divide that 50% between them, that's up to them. We don't have any control or say.
50% of the sale of the lots? Or
No, 50% of like all the taxes that we get back.
Yeah.
Over and above, like the TIF when that comes in, they would get 50%. We would get 50%.
So if there's a green at the end of the year, they get, and this is like a yearly thing, or is this like a total at the end of the 23 years, or
It's when they, yeah, it's whenever that starts kicking in again.
It kicks in year
20, right?
20? Is it 20 then?
It's, let's say 20 or 23.
It's way far out there.
It's way at the end, but by then, hopefully we have them paid off.
right?
And like I said, Chip's numbers were low.
Right.
I'm hopefully believing that. So if they are low, they could get a very sizable.
But our stake in this is to be able to come away with funds at the end that we can use to improve another area or to use it to develop another area. In fact, our fund, this wasn't set up to put a bunch of cash back into their pocket.
Right.
So.
I agree they should get something because they were the initial driving force behind it. If it wasn't for them, we could have never done it.
That was the point that the one made, said, I'm essentially working for free. I'm doing all of the work.
But that
I don't know.
that be between the three of them.
Yeah, but they're not working. They're getting their money back. And I should find it again. There was a form where they had a plan laid out where they were gonna end up making whatever money back out of this project. They had a certain percentage that once they got their $750,000 back from the purchase of the lots, there was so much more that they wanted to make, and then they were gonna be.
They wanted to make enough to pay for their lots.
Yeah, well,
They-
yeah, basically.
So they
Yeah.
end up with
Yeah,
3,000 at the end.
they basically wanted what they were doing for free.
Right, they wanted their sweat equity to pay for their lots at the end.
So how long does you say he's working for nothing? No, you're not working for nothing. You're not.
I mean, if I'm being honest, 50% seems like a really big number, like
Yeah.
a tall ask.
Yeah.
If they could ask for 10% or something like that, like, okay, maybe we can talk about that, but 50% is a big number. Potentially a big number. It may not be anything, we don't know, but.
It could be nothing. Right. We don't know that.
Yeah, it could be nothing. But they get. It could go nowhere. And they get nothing.
But that's a chance that we've taken also.
It's also why we increased our percentage, that we would contribute, helping them out with the TIF amount.
So what do you need to know, Becca?
I need to know what you want to do, because I need to tell our bond attorney what to write in the development agreement. Do you want 50%? Do you want 10%? Do you want 15? Do you want nothing? I need to know. And then I need to go to them, and I need to tell them, because all of this is conversation with them before anything gets in writing.
I'd go give 10, but I still don't even think that that's right. We covered their cost and their input, and I don't think it needs to be in.
I mean, I get that they borrowed money for this, so they're paying interest on their money as well. So they're looking for a return on their investment and to be able to pay that interest off and all of those things. So I get that they're not essentially doing this for free. They're putting a lot of work in and taking a fair bit of risk, hoping this all pans out. So I get that. But then to have people compensated for their time, but that wasn't.
Their compensation should be coming in the sale of lots and the pricing for lots. They should be, okay, dividing up the lots and how many they're gonna get and pricing in consideration to making some money and coming out with something at the end.
Jordan? What do you want to do?
Here.
It
doesn't matter what I want to do, it's what we all decide.
I know, but
My opinion on this whole thing, 50%, to me seems like a lot. But I'm not in their situation. Granted, they don't get any of their return until, I believe it's like, what, 22 years. As far as I consider, I'd rather not see the lots get blown out price-wise, because they need to make it on this end. I'd rather have them see it and make it lower so we can sell them, so we can get our tip money. They make a little bit of money at the end. I guess if they're gonna stick in it for that 23 years, good for them. I know it's gonna be a hard sell for it, but I don't have a personal problem going 25%. Because I know 10 is not gonna fly. And that's even half of what, and I don't even know if they'll agree to that. But I do believe they took a big risk and something we would have never had. My opinion.
they essentially get dollars until year 21. Like $5,000, $3,000, like they get nothing until like year 21 with the current schedule. So.
So it's like us, if we would put in $100,000 for something, which is peanuts to what they put in for, you gotta wait 23 years to get anything back off your investment. You look at it that way, I would never do it. They don't have to do it.
So you don't think they're gonna be satisfied with 25 either?
I can't speak for them. I would say it'd be a negotiable starting point. But yeah, I don't feel 10 is even enough. I don't know either. I don't know if it works, how, if it's 2/3 vote and the other one's just out, if it's gotta be unanimous. I don't know how their empty works. I don't know.
I'd just be curious what's common other places, like, we don't specialize in this. You know, like, did our financial, after the meeting you guys had, did we talk with our financial people or attorneys, like, what's common, or even to give us a estimate, like what's closed? I wouldn't have a clue.
You know, you take your investments that you got through your work, 10% for me is low. You know?
Our bond attorney was blown away by 50% and feels like we're extending ourselves quite nicely. She is always protecting our interests. So you need to maintain that perspective. But she is like, you are doing a lot. You as a city are taking a very large risk. There is no teeth in any of this. This is a good faith, you know. So it bears discussing with your council, that 50%.
And it just keeps going and going and going. It's always more. It's always something. You know, why wasn't this discussed at the start of it when the TIF came up? And why did they say, well, we'll take the TIF, but we want so much at the end too? Why is it to this point when now all of a sudden it's like, well, we want some extra?
It was the strangest thing, Mark. Is it, I don't think that they talk about it ever. before we were all there,
Tell them.
Yeah,
ever. There was not a discussion point, so.
well, and the individual has experience in this, so.
Did the bond attorney have any recommendations?
He was real nervous about bumping it up even 25,000, not gonna lie. We are eking by, you guys. We are negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 out of the first 20 years. We are short if we are projecting what Chip has estimated. So he was nervous about that increase.
And granted, those are low,
Yep.
but.
But
Conservative is good.
Mm-hmm.
And those are two different, completely different things, you know, bumping up 25,000 versus 20-some years from now. A split.
Yep.
Those are two entirely different issues, but both are worth considering.
Yep. The 25,000, you guys have said yes is fine, so I think that's fine. I just need to know what you want to do with this development agreement.
You know, there's places, there's, lots out there that there's gonna be a building on, but there's not a lot of revenue going to be created from. There's gonna be a building, it's gonna be a storage shed, and things like that, and you're not gonna see a lot of TIF value, you're not gonna see a lot of property tax value created by some of those.
But it's still buildings, so they tax you on the building.
You're right, you get taxed on the building, but the TIF, the property tax you see off of a building like Oxidation Technologies, like crude and auto sales, something like that is gonna be a lot more than a storage shed.
The building value.
Yeah.
Is what matters.
You're right, and that they're producing income and revenue and things like that,
That doesn't-
they're all,
But that doesn't matter for TIF though.
no.
That helps with our local option sales tax, that helps with our people stopping and buying things in Oak Street, that helps with people spending money in town, but that doesn't have to do with the TIF.
TIF, but it's still, that type of building creates more property tax value and more TIF value than a storage shed.
I don't get that.
You put a $100,000 storage shed, is gonna be a lot more than a nice building where they're doing manufacturing out of it, something like that.
Not necessarily, if the building is.
Based on square footage.
Yeah, so if the building is this big and then the building is this big, it doesn't matter what is functioning out
Kind
of
of does.
it, that doesn't matter.
It goes off of square footage finished, bathroom.
Yes.
insurance, and things like
Oh,
that.
there, I mean, it all,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the building's worth more if it's got more windows and
Yeah.
nicer finish and brick on the front and all that kind of stuff than just tin sheds.
Yes.
So I get what you're saying. At the same time, the initial evaluation was 0, and they put $500,000 value on it. The taxes on that.
You tell me what you want to do. Folks. We can move things forward, but I can't move things forward unless I have what you want.
Can we start with max 10%, go from there?
if we're negative for how many years out of it started, they have to, the three of them have to consider that as well, that we're gonna dig into our own pocket to help fund them at that point. So they're getting money from the city through that way also.
I just also want to say, conversations with Rockford and Ignore, they're not the same. conversations with Rock Valley and Sioux Center, remind yourselves that those towns operate at debt limits in the 80%. They operate with completely doing the infrastructure for every single development. No question, not us. It is done by the city. So I just want you to bear in mind, I know it feels uncomfortable, what they're asking of us is uncharted territory, but it's not uncharted territory anywhere ever.
There is another community that has said they will never do infrastructure in a division. There are communities that are the other way as well.
At the end of the day, we gotta make decisions based on our situation.
And these group, because it's gonna be dependent on the developer also.
Yeah, everybody's into the situation.
Okay, so Mark said 10%. Are people wanting 10%, are people wanting 25%? I need to know where to go.
I'll agree with that.
So they're gonna pocket 10% and not even, then we gotta have another conversation about it.
And that will require.
Which is what they're counting on.
The
It's
process.
gonna go back and forth, and so where does it end?
My hope is that it ends with the development.
And when they get their percentage that they want, what's their next question? What are they gonna want next? Because that's what it's led to, that's exactly where we're at, there's always something more.
At the one meeting, it seemed like he was okay with it. I know it's not exactly 75%, but it was more confident. Said our advisor is a little leery about this jumping on people to 25,000. I just don't feel like we should do that.
Don't do 25,000. Do others not want me to do the 25,000?
Pushes our number.
It will push our
It
number.
does, yeah.
Every dollar pushes our number.
Yeah.
I feel like if we don't do the 25,000 a month, then we need to increase our percentage again.
Is the 75% funding from the city, is that key? One of the sale of one of the lots? No, it's not. You had been questioned by one of the possible retailers that if the city was going to be funding that amount.
No, they asked about infrastructure.
They wanted to know that the city was supporting it, and the infrastructure was actually going to go in. I don't know, I don't think they cared whether it was 74 or 75%. So leave it at 1.1 and then come back with 25% instead.
What's the predicted?
That's for them. You can have. That's the 1.1 schedule and chip. So they get nothing. and not none, right?
5%.
Yeah, 5%. Little. We are doing the infrastructure, so right? We are paying for the infrastructure, so they're getting the money after they submit receipts. So they're getting that's going in. But, yeah, it's like 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, like thousands of dollars until year 21. It's very, very small. Yeah.
But not losing.
Right, I don't get that relevance. I understand that they're not having a big windfall for 20 years, but they've also sold the lots, they've got the development going, they've got their buildings up.
Yep, they've paid back, so they took out a $750,000 loan to buy the land, so this could happen.
Yep.
Right? So they're paying back that. They're also upfronting this preliminary work. I mean, Scott said it's like $70,000 already of engineering fees and stuff that they're doing.
Which I expect to have to pick up another 400,000 on top of that, what we're supplying.
Right.
So they're into it for over $1 million. They're actually funding 50% of the entire project.
Oh, yeah, essentially Scott's working for free.
Scott's working for free.
I mean, essentially, he's working on his own instead of somewhere else. I still bring to be. I mean, again, their choice. I mean,
Do you understand what she's saying?
I do, but as they start billing for the infrastructure, he's gonna start billing for his time as well, or no?
I don't know. I don't know.
You would think that would be part of that would be part of the infrastructure cost. They would have had to figure in some contractors' wages and time and stuff like that. That would all be part of putting in the infrastructure. So at some point in time, he's going to be paid for his time.
Maybe, because remember when we got the preliminary numbers from Gary and it was like $2.5 million, and then Scott came back around and said, actually, I think I can get it for this amount of money. That might be Scott's freeness, right? I'm just saying, like, we don't see the breakdown of what he's doing.
Right.
He's burning fuel every day to make this happen.
So 1.1, 1.125. Please, somebody make a motion. I will entertain a motion. I'm gonna make you motion it because I will need to know.
I think we need to give a little to take more at the end.
Okay? So we'll make a motion.
I'm not gonna make a motion, I wanna hear what everybody else wants. I don't.
So we would be giving them, we're following that thought process. If we up our whatever, cover our costs right now for another 25,000, you know. I don't know how to say it, you know, that needs to be part of a consideration at there, you know, from them, that, okay, we met their full 75%.
I like leaving it at 1.1. I can see those numbers. I feel good about that-ish. And then I can say 50% because if we don't get anything, he doesn't get anything. That's motivation for them to work, to sell, to get people there. You want 50%? Get those lots done. I wouldn't want to work for free either, or wait 23 years. But. Shannon?
keep changing my mind.
I'll make a motion to stay at the 1.1, but I don't know what to do with the percentage.
Go to 20%.
Okay, so I then have a motion for 1.1 to keep and 20%.
You know, what do you think that's, what are your thoughts on their 50% versus 10 or 20 or anything? I don't know.
Well, Becca's comment on if they don't sell it, they're not gonna get it. I just don't wanna increase our being leveraged any more than this.
Or out of pocket?
Yeah, so, I mean, if everybody else thinks do the 50. So just explain again, so with the 50%, if they, what happens, like, what are they gonna, like, how much is that gonna increase? Like, what are they gonna get? What are they gonna get?
So this is
separate.
This is separate.
Yes.
This is success. This is taken care of.
Yes.
Okay? We're talking about above and beyond what is received here. The excess.
He can't plan for that.
Can't plan for that.
And it's only of the time duration for the TIF, correct?
Correct.
I mean, after the TIF runs out, then then it ends.
Then it
Right? They don't
ends.
get 50% taxes, you know what I mean?
Correct.
Like it's the last, 4 years or something?
Yep.
For them, that they actually get something.
So let's say Ashley's numbers are more accurate, right? We estimated 2 something from TIF and we get 7 million of properties there. This will go away and we'll have $5 million, I'm just making up numbers, right? $5 million of excess. Scott is saying their group gets 50%. It is the excess. It is not this, it's not, so clarify, does everyone understand?
Yes.
This is bigger than what we are bare minimum talking about. The bigger, okay?
So if the bare minimum happens, they get nothing.
Bare minimum happens, they get $405,000 after 23 years.
Well, you can have that.
Yes.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you
Yeah.
decided, but yeah.
Yes. So
That's
that's,
split it 3 ways,
yes.
and that's not very good ROI. They could invest $1 million in the stock market and make way more than that in 20 years.
So the hope,
So they're viewing it as a partnership, basically, 50-50. I mean, it makes sense.
yes, so their hope is that in 10 years, they've sold all those lots and all those lots are well above this $2 million estimate.
Helps you, helps them.
Yep.
You pay off your own faster.
Right, so then we have money coming in and they're asking, hey, that extra, after you paid off your notes and you've done all these things, the revenue for new projects, can we have some?
Can we have some of that
We have
add on to our businesses again?
That is the ask. Does that help you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Boys?
Good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so, do you want 1.1 million?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I,
Okay? I'm gonna put it together, so we've got 1.1 million, I'm gonna make somebody make a motion. Do you want 20%? 50%? What percent do you want? Of the excess?
yes, it's 25.
Okay,
40.
40. Okay, let's chat about it.
Might as well do 50.
was about to write it down, and then Rick just let me do
I
it.
still think 50 is pretty high.
I don't disagree with you. I do think that a lot is falling on the shoulders of a singular person in this economic development group. And this, I mean, I don't know, Jordan and Jen, you were there, but it is a very, it is an eclectic group, and it is one person doing, and this is not for us to figure out, but one person is doing a lot, and he is the one that is asking for the excess for how much he is doing. And I applaud him for asking for, because heck yeah, man.
And however they're splitting it is on.
On them. So you can, I will go back with whatever you tell me to go back with, but I am not upset that he asked for 50% of whatever extra comes, because he is working his tail off out there every day, trying to sell those lots for businesses in Inwood.
I can definitely see him selling all the lots within 10 years.
I'm just saying.
He has no motivation.
I would say 5.
He is.
I'll go with 2.
Well, and the sooner we get this paid off, the better too, so.
Yeah.
Better for everybody.
Yes.
Really is.
1.1, 50%. Okay.
Anyone gonna support?
I keep
I'll
changing my
support.
mind too.
No, I gotta support. Sweet. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Nay.
Did you say? I didn't hear you say.
I
You said aye, so you're
Yeah,
going
he
in the
said-
positive?
was still thinking,
He didn't say nay, he said aye.
He said the same sign.
Oh, same sign, dang it. Okay, so I've got 3, I gotta fail. Okay? Motion not carried. New motion. 1.1 and?
40%.
Okay. Can I get a support? Support. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
All those opposed, same sign.
Nay.
Same sign.
Okay. So I got, it carried 3-2. Laurel, Craig, and Shannon, 1.1 and 40. Mark, Jordan, and opposed. Okay. I will bring that back to them. I will let Jen know of the meeting and Jordan know of the meeting when I get it scheduled. Then zoning for annexation, so I've been chatting with Micah about that. If it's going to be commercial or industrial, it can't be both. I sent the zoning code with the setbacks to the group so that they can look at it. Because there are some that are small, or, so we need to think that through. So I don't know yet if it's, what it's gonna be.
So you said what were the two?
Commercial or industrial? Yeah, highway commercial.
For tax rates and that, I would say tax rate.
There's certain specifications about what can be put in highway commercial versus industrial. So there's that, and then there's also different site specifications too, how big the site be, setbacks, et cetera, et cetera. So I sent the plotting to Micah, our attorney, and then also, so they're figuring it out. All right, moving on. We're gonna fly through this, guys. The IISC is coming on the 29th. Jen, have you heard anything else?
No, I have not yet. They were still working with Paul, so we want to do that.
Okay.
So, we're decide. You're going to have a breakfast, like have a nice, full of breakfast, that's the thing. But Paul is thinking that
the students will want to be assigned longer than they, I do go, what, 6 hour trip back. So
Yeah.
I think instead of having breakfast and talking and hearing from alumni and all the things, he's like, we just gotta get to work and do our thing and get back to everything, so.
Yep.
So
So,
they're still probably on the 29th.
29.
Yeah, I haven't heard any more than.
So once we have more details, we'll share.
Yeah.
Inwood is in for 2 projects? Or what?
2, your trail and your subdivision, right?
Can't remember.
There are 2, there's one for the trail, yeah, and your subdivision,
Yeah, right.
August or September, would you say?
August.
August,
Come on, Saturday?
yes. Is it,
The
they're
travel
taking,
Friday,
yeah, they're taking all the students here.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
like 16
and
faculty, yeah. Yeah.
yes. Regional trail, connections, engineering and design, Inwood subdivision, site development.
We were going to meet at the nature center.
Okay.
Just because that's where the trail, I mean, that was the whole point to get it already. So
Yes.
they want to see that as well, so we'll see what they determine.
Yeah.
Because that was part of having you as a contact person for that and for your type division here.
Yeah.
So I think talk to you at Moya and then whoever needs to come back this February.
Okay. All right.
Because they're kind of going all over. There's some in George, there's some in.
There are countywide housing needs assessment, George, and Leicester. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on that? You guys good? Okay. Downtown assessment. It was amazing. For those of you who missed it, you missed out. I'm not gonna lie. It was awesome.
No, that's really good.
I've heard personally from many of the people that attended that they thought it was really useful and, they are excited about opportunities. These gentlemen, Jim and Jim, have money that they are willing to spend in downtown. We just need a business partner. So I shared my takeaway notes with you. I recommend you read them. My plan now is to follow up with the businesses and see if I have anyone interested. But there are small things, low-hanging fruit that the businesses can do, signage and stuff like that. And then there are obviously the larger ticket items that are complete facade update, or better rehab structure, stuff like that. So, any comments on that? Any other, those who attended?
Travis, let's say, went to York City, which was like downtown forum, kind of expanded on it, so
Yeah.
it's really good. I mean, obviously they did it because they were here, but it's like a time to be able to go and be like, oh, yeah, and here's the different cities that were,
Yeah, I'm glad I went to that.
yeah, it was really good, very informative.
Awesome. Okay, ordinances. So, dog ordinance at large, did that get drafted? We had requests to change to a physical fence to increase our violation fees. Have that updated?
No. Physical fence?
The request that I have noted from last month was you have to have a physical fence. An electrical fence is not permitted, or they need to be chained and outside. And then to increase our fees for them running at large. And brought my papers from last month, so I can tell you maybe. $250 for the first and $500 for the second. So that you guys can draft that up for all the readings and stuff. Great. Okay, noise. I'm guessing that one didn't get changed either. Okay.
I have not even had time to visit.
Okay, so I'll leave them on for next month. Fireworks, we didn't actually make any changes to unless you want to. Okay, can I cross it off or do you? Yeah, you will. Okay, so I won't leave that on next one. Scooter or e-bike? Yeah.
Other than the laws, I mean, the Iowa laws, I wouldn't know it was legal age 16, and like Michelle said, lights and reflectors, that's all part of Iowa law too, right? Look, that's the only thing, removal bike after a citation or however.
I looked it up, but I don't have it memorized, hold on.
When riding after dark, standard front and rear bike lights and reflectors are required. This is Iowa Code 328.235B. Equipment must feature permanent manufacturer label showing its class, top assisted speed, and wattage. There are 3 classes, class 1, 2, 3.
So a couple of things. For 1, 2, and 3, there's no driver's license requirement, vehicle registration, title, or insurance. Age limits, a class 3 have to be 16, but class 1 and 2, there's no age limit. Helmets are not required. Iowa State Code leaves sidewalk usage up to the individual cities and towns. Compliant e-bikes are allowed on public roadways. Bike lanes are shared multi-use paths. It's everywhere. Like cities are passing these ordinances left and right. I see it on the news, but it's a huge problem around town. And right now, we have the code, but you have to call the sheriff's office for enforcement.
I'm curious, do you know if any towns require a flag? I know it'd be cumbersome for the riders, but mopeds require them, golf carts require them.
The flags.
I don't know if they do, but we can.
I don't really know if they're an issue like riding on the sidewalk, although I have seen kids like come off the road, go through the grass, right on the sidewalk, come back on the road. I think mainly it's, from what I've seen, it's on the streets and they're not following any of the traffic laws, like they're not stopping at stoplights or stop.
There's a group of 3 or 4 of them
Yeah,
kind of terrorize.
and I know some parents have stopped and stopped them out on the street and talked to them, at least in my neighborhood. I did call a parent of a, young person riding a scooter. And she was very glad that I called her. I just voiced my concern, said, hey, I just don't want your child to get hit. And, so.
I think that's the path of least resistance, right? Whenever you can, to just talk to the kiddo and the parent to address it as best as possible.
Yeah.
However, when that isn't possible, or we have situations that have escalated, what do you want to do? Do you want to just rely on the state code? Do you want to add some extra enforcements like bikes are removed or whatever? Do you want to require helmets? Do you want to require flags? Do you want to say you can't ride after a certain time?
I think we need to have time restrictions, and I agree, I think, you know, it's similar to a moped, very similar. So give them a flag.
Yeah, because I don't know, I found this whole thing that like lays them all out side by side. Class 1, class 2, class 3, e-scooter, moped, motorcycle, whole thing. And, you know, for a class 3 e-bike, it says the minimum rider age should be 16, but for a moped, it's 14, which doesn't make sense to me. Obviously, they're essentially the same thing, right? Like,
You need to register a moped, but you can ride it as a 14-year-old.
And you have to take a class.
And there's nothing with e-bikes that you have to take on.
Class 3, you have to be 16.
Yeah, it says you're supposed to be 16, but it doesn't say anything about registration or, yeah.
It says here that there's no driver's license, vehicle registration, title, or insurance required for any e-bike.
None of that exists.
So you just have to guess that the person is under 16 and call the sheriff's office.
Right.
And going faster than 20 miles an hour.
Mhm. Yeah, because even the class 1s go 20 miles an hour and there's no restrictions on anything. No minimum age, no license, no registration, no insurance, nothing.
So Rock Rapids is passing their electric scooter ordinance tonight. No, it's tonight. They had their hearing last month, their second reading. So do you want to restrict further with the e-bike?
I think the flags are a good idea. And they absolutely, I mean, I don't know, I think for restriction on time, but I think if they're after dark, they absolutely need a headlight. I mean, and reflectors and all of the same things, you know? I mean, that's already kind of stated in there, but.
Yeah, it's already required. Their bikes have headlights, they choose not to use them.
I know. But that should absolutely be enforced. If you ride around, you should have that headlight on. I had that conversation with a couple of them as well.
If you catch them, they go fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Electric scooter, do you want the final copy from Rock Rapids so you guys can edit it for the city of Inwood?
Sure.
Because last month we wanted to add a couple more things to it. I wrote my notes correctly. So I'll get that for you and then share. Okay, board reports. So parks, Shannon and Rick.
Yes. Yeah, obviously talked about tree removal a little bit already. So that, for sure, the one will be happening.
Yeah.
Figure out what the rest of it looks like there. Yeah. I don't know. If we get a grant, I would definitely go with the rubber chips. Because it's twice as much up front, but it lasts like
7 to 10,
10 times as long. I haven't even ridden by the campground lately. I know
There's only
that
one.
there's one out there. Okay.
Speaking of that, we have to have them move. Jamie has communicated with them. That is where the library is going to go, in that area. And we need to be able to access and put the modular, and we need to be able to trench in and all the things, so.
Do we have a date when that's coming back?
The modular will be here the 24th or 25th of the month. And they need to be out by this Friday. So that we can do what we need to do.
Okay.
Perfect.
Anything else for parks, guys?
I don't think so.
Cool.
Not if we're gonna pursue a grant that way.
Pool, Shannon and Mark.
Cover that already.
Everything? You guys have any heartburn about all the water aerobic supplies, adding that to the budget for next year.
Bring the bugs.
I didn't think so.
They're doing a great job. I think the
Yeah.
pool was super busy this year, obviously with the hot weather,
Yeah. No, it's really.
Yeah, we've had a good. Unfortunately, I live with her.
Mine are retired.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, yes, but for the most part, it's been good this year.
Jody and I are going to, we have to wait for the new officers to be appointed, in Marchwood. And then we'll be, to talk about
Yes.
that, so. that's one we're ready to-
Pricing.
Pricing differences between cities.
Yeah, it is. I know Braden has it going. It's amazing how many people we get from Rock Valley, especially those lessons.
I think it's gonna happen, like having a conversation is just good. It's good neighborly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anything else from the pool?
I don't think so.
Okay, once Jamie comes back with, some more information on the sandblasting versus pressuring, painting on the stuff, we'll have an additional conversation on that. Streets. Mark and Jordan. Anything? Okay. Water sewer. Me and you, right?
Haven't thought about it a whole lot, to be honest.
Okay. Carol, you were gonna maybe talk to IISD about that being a part of their project. Do you wanna talk to them, or do you want me to talk to them about that for their spring? The Iowa Initiatives for Sustainable Communities. That, the student group?
Yeah.
Do you wanna talk to them about it, or do you want me to?
Talk to them about what, water sewer?
Yes,
Oh,
for that
the
street, yes. Do you wanna?
I just assumed it wasn't go because it wasn't on the list.
So they have a set that they do for the fall and a set that they do for the spring, because it's a separate program for each semester. So,
Okay, I
yeah,
wasn't aware of that.
Yep.
So it's still a
it's
possibility?
still a possibility.
Yeah, I'd love to visit.
Okay, so I'll CC you on email with Travis and Ashley. Okay. Travis. And Ashley, so many names. Library. Jordan.
Grant receipt, moving forward.
Did everybody know the grant was received? Or did great?
You have to have the books out of the library or out of the Lisbon Church by the 12th of September.
Yep.
We can move them again.
We don't have to move them. The company moves them. Yep.
Well, we had to move them into the classrooms.
Yes, we don't have to move them out. Moving them from the church to the modular is covered by insurance,
But all the shelving got to be put,
but the shelving has to be put together.
which is actually worse, so.
So the books, all the books are going.
They will not all fit, so Laurel graciously allowed the library to store some of the books in their basement. Where they will be safe until next.
That's what I was gonna ask you today, about when ready to get another flood, is your bank pretty decent with flood?
Yeah, so we have two, sump pumps. Snapped, so one stops, the other one.
Stop it back up?
Yeah.
So you really haven't had a problem. You asked for pallets, but I was just wondering if we had to get them up off the ground even more than just
They're on
pallets.
tables, everything's on tables right
Oh,
now,
okay.
so it should be good once we get feet of water. Yeah.
But that's how the pump runs all the time, because it's a super deep. It's not take a look.
Just don't know.
There's a big old alarm that goes off if they do stop working, so.
So Laura, library director, has been awesome. She's been working her tail off with all of this. The library board came and helped pack boxes and move boxes. I'm not kidding, like, it was unbelievable the amount of people that came and helped with that, so it really shined, it really shined in that moment. But then brigade workers have been so kind and so gracious and have been checking in on us, how we're doing as a city with all of this, so even though they're dealing with their whole own mess, they're still worried about us as a city. That's amazing. Yeah, so hopefully this is the end of the shuffle until we have a new building, but that is where we're at. So yes, 24th to 25th, the modular should be here. Jamie is working with them on getting everything ready. Community center, Laurel.
So looking at, Inwood Docks, saw that we should have a board of trustees for the community center, and both Becky and I thought it would be a good time to do that since we're putting up our new building. Board of trustees is supposed to contain, or is supposed to include, 2 council members, citizen from out of town, 2 from in town, and 1 from the summer rec board. So we did, Becca reached out to several people. So myself and Shannon will be on it from council. Justin Bonema from out of town. Sam Skolton is our summer rec representative. Lindsay Vanentop and Clint Baron Scott from in town. And then for secretary treasurer, that will be Travis, our deputy clerk.
They have 3-year terms, except for the summer rec person. The summer rec person has 1-year terms. You may serve up to 6 years, no matter who you are. So everybody except summer rec can get reelected in 3 years. Summer rec gets reelected every year, okay? I don't know why it was written that way, it just was. Probably because there's more turnover in the summer rec board, I would guess. But Laurel and I, on our long trip to Altoona, that took us 10 hours. We get back until 2 in the morning. Thank you, Iowa Character Award. It was a wonderful ceremony. It was, we were thinking that this group would be perfect because they set membership costs, they set the rental costs, they'll figure it out, and we don't have to figure it out. They will. Perfect. Perfect, right? So I am making my formal request to all of you for that slot of people, and I need your vote on it. It is council approved. So if you need Laurel to read those names again, she can.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries. Okay, next item on there, Laurel.
Commemoration plans. I had Jamie and Troy pulled some ceiling tiles. I've reached out to a few people. Carol Childress, I haven't heard back from her. Andrea, thank you.
Yep.
She is willing to take a couple of tiles and just have like paint on them like they have done out at West Lyon. So ceiling tiles, and then we can use those to display somewhere in the new building. We'll figure it out later. We've also got a memory board planned. They were nice enough to cut out some sheetrock. I'm trying to still figure out how to put that together, and also going to reach out to Carol Childress because she's very creative. I did talk to Hayden Vanderstroot He's got his drone service and he was supposed to be here on Saturday to kind of get some preliminary current pictures of the site. He'll come, we just have to let him know on this exact date. Need to give him like a day's notice.
Okay.
Today they were doing trees. I know they didn't get those all done yet, so I think we've got a couple days yet.
Yep. Eric said he'd give me 2 days, so
Okay.
I'll reach out to him.
Okay. And then just kind of looking at the future, when it is all done and said and done, finished, ready to go, possibly an open house, kind of a big event, you know, all the bells and whistles, because we're very excited to get it done. So, still looking into that, and if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know.
Perfect. Anything for Laurel?
Sounds great.
Okay. Buildings and equipment, Jordan and Rick.
I haven't really got any update on the pickup.
Okay.
About the only thing right now, I think.
Okay. Anything from you, Jordan?
No, Jimmy hasn't brought up anything, so.
Okay.
Did you notice there was a service truck by Ben Beeks?
I did not.
Just a little bit, east of town here.
Okay.
Maybe ask Troy about it. You may know. A nice, Ford F-350 service truck.
Okay.
I didn't pull over and take a look at it, but
Okay.
really sharp. I know it's a Ford instead of a Chevy, but
That's fine.
we can deal with it for a while.
That's all we can afford? That's all we can afford?
That's what I was saying. Probably just run on here, sorry.
As long as it's not diesel. Yes, it would be better.
Anything else? Okay, insurance and finance, Joe, Travis, and myself. Anything? Anything? Have we, I have updated David, the adjuster for the library claim, several times with the information, but I haven't updated Scott regarding where we're moving to. So I'll wait until I have that specific and then give that information to Scott. Planning and zoning. I reached out to Thea. No update. Board of Adjustment, I reached out to Jason, no update. Chamber of Commerce, Todd and I did not connect. City Tree Board, this is another one we're supposed to have, and we're doing a bunch of tree stuff. So I will work on the City Tree Board and bring that back to you guys. And the sheriff report already happened. Anything from the board reports? Okay. Organization club report. I have none to add. Do you have any to add, Travis?
No.
Okay. Town hall. August 1 is coming up. The August 1 is sometime 22nd, 9 a.m. September. Preferences. Anybody?
Are you still getting a lot of attendance?
We haven't had one for quite a while because we didn't have one in July. So we will see what happens on the 22nd. Do you want me to wait until our meeting on the 14th and then see if we should have one in September?
Yes.
Yeah, or schedule it. It's hard to cancel it because Travis puts it in the connection and it goes out and stuff like that, so.
That's right.
Wait to schedule. Okay. Until next council. Next council, 14th, 6:30 here. Work for everybody? Yeah, please say yes.
Sure.
Okay, Mark, I am at the League of Cities in Iowa, and We are in Iowa, if you didn't know. In Bettendorf, the 23rd to 25th. So that's like 7 hours from here, so it will not be reachable, so I hope that you're available.
I'll be around.
And then the 30th to the 2nd, I'm going to Washington DC. Are you here? Thank you. Last thing I have, Siouxland Excavating. I sent you guys that information. They're digging, next to Apex, right? On lot 5, right?
Yes.
So what, he called me, Brady called me and said, you need to do something with that. Because just putting that dirt back in there is not working. It's filling with water. It needs something. It's bad. The tree grinding never ceases to haunt us in lot 5. So he gave some recommendations. His options were put some rock down and then do some clay, yada, yada, right? I checked with Gary because that's why we have a city engineer. And Gary says, hot off the press, the lean compacted clay material is likely needed to fill the excavation. Additional rock may be needed below the building foundation depending on the type. A geotech engineer such as Geotech can provide a review of existing soil excavations and make additional recommendations. They perform the soil testing for the subdivision project. Let me know if you want us to reach out to them. That's it for that. So.
Yep, better haul some rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will tell them.
Clay, whatever, clay. Yeah.
All rock and clay. Carol, Siouxland did not tell me if they could do that. Do you want to reach out to them and see if they can do that, or do you want me to call Braden back? He left me another message while I was in Nebraska this weekend. You'll call them and see, okay. And obviously that will be a change order and will increase the cost and stuff, but we're already in it. We're already in it.
You gotta do what's right.
So, okay, anything, Jordan? Shannon?
No.
Mark?
No.
Rick? Laurel? Carol? Travis? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Can I get a support? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're adjourned.
Carol, is that storage thing staying here or?
Probably just take it back and forth.
Okay, so we can put our